absolute shambles and turning around the program in the matter of a year. That's what Matt Rhule brings to the table. And I think if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, you're pretty excited.
Yeah, you always want to win the press conference. You win that opening press conference and you get everybody on your side. But the real question is, can he coach an NFL team? Is this going to work? Is it going to translate? And that's always the question when you're talking about college guys coming in and trying to do the NFL job is this going to work? And we'll see. Some of the stuff that was interesting to me was just how much he really was talking about analytics in his introductory press conference and how much he wants that to be part of his tenure as the Panthers head coach. And obviously with the owner, Tepper, analytics is big on his mind as well. So, maybe it's a match made in heaven when you're talking about that. And we'll see. We'll see if that works or not. Everybody wins the press conference. Everyone goes out there and says all the right things and does all the right things and gets everybody pumped up, fired up, ready to go. So, good for him to get that part done.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to take what he says with a grain of salt, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a performance-based business. You don't get a win on your record from having a good press conference. That's not how it works. But I'm just talking about from the perspective of the guys that were available. Your Mike McCarthy's, your Joe Judges, maybe your Josh McDaniels, we'll see. Even like a guy from college like Lincoln Riley. I think Matt Rhule is the most intriguing just from the standpoint of he has won wherever he's been. Now, can that translate to the NFL? And it's funny because from the outside looking in, you would think these college coaches that come out, they should have a lot of success because the biggest part of a head coach, you might be an offensive-minded guy and you bring some new wrinkle to the scheme. But in my opinion, the biggest part of a head coach is to initiate the culture and to keep that locker room above water, right? And when we're talking about that, guys like Pete Carroll come to mind. Like Sean Payton, I think is another good example of, building the culture and everything like that. Doug Peterson seems to have that culture ready to go, especially in the playoffs when they're, devastated by injury and somehow still manage to make a run year in and year out. And I think with Matt Rhule, you got a guy, and he said it himself. He asks why, and I think if you were to analyze the biggest part of NFL players right now, whether it's with contract negotiations, running a route, or calling a play, it's why. Why are we doing this? Why am I getting paid this? Why are we doing this play? And I think Matt Rhule said the big thing right there. He's like, I ask why. So on paper, it looks like he can relate to the players. Now, whether that's going to correlate to wins and losses, we shall see. But I think there's something to be said, especially with him being able to relate to his players.
If it's me, though, I only want a college coach if it's a college coach who has won not just games, not just a locker room, not just culture. I want a guy who's won championships. Personally, if you're going to give me a college coach, it has to be the best college coach. Now, obviously, that hasn't always worked. And Nick Saban and his failed experiment going to Miami and with the Dolphins. I was actually an intern in West Palm Beach when he was the coach of the Dolphins. And so that was the one training camp that I went down and covered when I was interning.
Sure.
And yeah, that didn't work out so good for him, did it?
Yeah.
When he tried to take his college philosophy down there. So I don't know. If you're giving me a guy like Dabo Swinney, who has not only proven it when it comes to the culture and the recruiting and all that stuff, but actually won championships, I put a lot more stock in that personally, to where if I'm getting a college coach, I want a guy who's won championships.
Well, I'm going to be honest. There's a reason why I talk on the radio. I don't have a front office job in NFL because I don't know what it takes. If you're to tell me which coach in the NCAA right now most translates to the NFL, I think I would say Nick Saban, obviously, because he reminds me of that Bill Belichick. It's his way or the highway, and he's almost like a king in Alabama. I'll tell you a quick story of just how famous Nick Saban is. So you were there with me last year at the Super Bowl. We ran into Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world right now, one of the baddest men on the planet, a heavyweight boxer, really promising guy. He wanted a chance to go talk to Nick Saban and the Alabama football team. Now, this is about 2 years ago. He had the belt at the time, but he was still kind of an unknown guy, kind of coming up the ranks a little bit. And, obviously he's an Alabama dude. He's a football guy. He wanted to go talk to the team, work out in the facility, and things like that. Guess what Saban said?
Nope.
Nah. And now this is 2 years ago. Now let's fast forward. All of a sudden he starts having these big name fights. He goes with Tyson Fury. They have a draw, and now he's like this household name. Well, now he has the access to go train in the stadium, to go run those stairs if he wants, to go talk to the team. But there was a time 3 or 4 years ago, and I know this because I actually talked to somebody in Deontay Wilder's camp that used to spar with him, and he told me this story because they were training in Alabama. And even Wilder didn't have access to the facilities in Alabama. So it goes to show you just how much power Nick Saban has, where it's Alabama football or it's nothing. I don't care if you're world champion or not. And when I look at that, and yeah, there's ego involved, just like there's ego involved in the NFL. I just find it baffling that Saban couldn't make it work in Miami. Now, that was a while ago, right? Things have changed, obviously, now.
No doubt.
One could think that if he had a second stint in the NFL, he could do better. But I'm just saying, if you analyze all the NCAA coaches right now in football, you can go with Dabo Swinney, go with the more of the players guy, or you go with Nick Saban, who's more of just the constructed Bill Belichick type. I'd probably take Saban, but once again, no one's going to guarantee it's going to work out for you.
Well, that's the thing, too, is that if you've got a college program that's humming, that's working, that's among the top 5 to 10 in the country, why are you going to leave it? Why are you going to leave it for the volatility that comes in the NFL as a head coach there, where you might only have 2 years, 3 years? I know that's a 7-year contract for Rhule here in Carolina, but is there really such thing as a 7-year contract? No. If he's awful after 3 years, they're going to fire him. That's how that works. Mm-hmm. If you're a college coach and you've got the recruiting machine rolling, you've got all these great 5-stars coming in, you're, beating up on cupcakes and winning your conference and making it to the playoff every year, you're probably going to stay. So as I kind of, think about it in my head, I'm like, yeah, I guess you're probably not going to get the cream of the crop when it comes to the college coaches, because why would they leave?
Absolutely.
And especially when you consider how the pay gap has tightened, it's not as crazy as it used to be to get the same amount in college as you're getting in the NFL. The coaches used to get so much more money than they did in the college game. But now, considering how much money in college sports there is, that's not going to the players, it really has, narrowed that gap between those pays.
Absolutely. And listen, we started this conversation with Matt Rhule, and I think Mike McCarthy is going to make his press conference debut, I think, tomorrow. And I'm expecting more of it.
Gotta space him out so we can talk about him each day.
Yeah, exactly.
No
kind of helps ESPN690 out a little bit. But, obviously with Mike McCarthy, too, I see him kind of taking the Steve Jobs approach, may he rest in peace. But, he's going to throw all these crazy analytic terms out there. He's going to be like, oh, I got something new for the Dallas Cowboys. Check this out. Here's a PowerPoint presentation. Trend it on Twitter. Let's go. And there's going to be some excitement around that. Let's be honest here. Now, with Joe Judge and the Giants, that one will be interesting. But my point is, there's excitement. There's excitement in January for teams that shouldn't have excitement. They're teams that didn't go to the playoffs. They're teams that underachieved. And all of a sudden, the fan base is like, you know what? This Matt Rhule guy, I like it. Doesn't mean anything, but guess what? I like it. This Mike McCarthy guy, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But you know what? The analytics, he's kind of changed his ways a little bit. I like it. And it's leaving the fans optimistic. When we talk about optimism here, Stuart, and you're a Jaguars fan, and you're seeing these press conferences, maybe you're a little bummed because you kind of have the same vanilla kind of stuff right now with Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell. How are you feeling after all this?
Yeah, you got to wonder what these fans are thinking, because if you're the Jaguar fan and you're like, man, could we have had Matt Rhule? Mm-hmm. Is that a guy who could have come and been our new head coach into the future, had Shad Khan done that clean slate that a lot of people out there really wanted after this most recent disappointing season? Yeah, you gotta have that kind of, I don't know, lack of buyer's remorse. I don't know how you would describe it, but FOMO. There you go.
Okay.
A little FOMO.
Yeah.
A little coaching FOMO for you.
I like that.
Fear of missing out for those of you.
I'm gonna go ahead and Google that one. Yeah, that's new.
Not hip with the kids. FOMO?
Yeah.
You don't know that one?
No, Never heard that one.
It's like YOLO, but FOMO.
I like it, man.
Fear of missing out.
Hey, it's starting 2020 off right.
I feel like it's actually like 3 years ago, but
okay.
all the people at home are like, no one says that anymore, Stuart.
No, I don't think anybody's ever said that. But maybe they have. Maybe
people said that. Coos.
Yeah, it was a big social thing. Like,
got it.
Well,
in college.
That's your first mistake. It was a big social thing.
Well, you see a lot
Hashtags
of people
and
posting
stuff.
about something, and you're like, oh, I wish I was there. Like when we don't go to Bonnaroo this year, and we see a bunch of people posting about it, you'll have FOMO.
Hey, when we don't go to cruise, I'm going to Bonnaroo this year. I'm not sure what you're doing. That's another topic for another day, or maybe later in the show if we get bored. I'm going to Bonnaroo. Not sure what you're doing over there, but I'm going.
Then I will
remote.
have FOMO of your photos.
Well, I'm going to wait till Brent gets back here. I'm going to pitch him an idea of how we can do the show from Bonnaroo.
We're going to have some FOMO for the Asheville pictures we see of him. Is there foliage? I bet there's foliage up there.
I'm sure there is.
It sounds like a city with foliage.
FOBO? Fear of missing beer? The drinks that he's going to have?
No, that's not how that would work.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, anyways, getting back on track here, we kind of teased it a little bit. You know, and if you're a Jaguars fan, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah.
I want to ask you this question, Stuart. Are you kind of having, I guess it would be keeper's remorse, we can call it.
Yeah, let's make things up. I like it.
Are you having keeper's remorse right now? And I want you to play the role of Shad Khan after the break here. If you had your opportunity right now, if you had your choice of anybody in the coaching realms, who are you taking and why? We'll talk about that next here on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunny, a bit on the cool side, but nice today. The afternoon high in the mid-60s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, your local diamond store for 39 years in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
In general, I'm a win-win guy. When I have to spend hours searching for the right part, it's lose-lose. It's time lost for me and lost time for my crew. That's why I order from Grainger. With product experts that have the answers to my toughest questions, an easy-to-use website to help me find the right product quickly, I can rely on Grainger to make getting supplies for my business as simple and seamless as possible. When it comes to getting things done, it's a win-win when Grainger's got your back. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you over hearing about the new year? Then what do you say instead of joining the new bandwagon, we go used? And that starts by saving big on a used car at Arlington Toyota. At Arlington, you have over 400 pre-owned to choose from on the lot every day. And 60 vehicles are priced under $12,000. With every pre-owned purchase at Arlington, you join the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club. It's filled with savings, benefits, and rewards to take your Arlington purchase to the next level. Buying pre-owned at Arlington means big-time selection and the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club. Plus, you get top dollar for your trade-in. Even same model year cars, trucks, and SUVs. So what are you waiting for? This new year, go used at Arlington Toyota. Arlington's even got your free iPrecheck service powered by TransUnion to instantly get your real-time credit score, interest rate, payment, and pre-qualification without affecting your score, and no Social Security numbers required. Make 2020 the best used year yet when you shop and save at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Be bold, Jacksonville, whether you want to be cold or hot. Bold City Heating and Air will help. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. I needed a new air conditioning system this summer and called the good folks at Bold City Heating and Air. It was worth the call. A competitive price, good communication, fantastic service. A new system is a big investment. You want a good experience. My family had that at Bold City Heating and Air. You can too. They will help you design the perfect system for your home while staying within your budget. Be bold and give Bold City Heating and Air a call or visit boldcityac.com. Chub it up for the football playoffs at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey everyone, it's Brent Martineau. They are my favorite wings in town, and on New Year's Day, I got a huge order to go for the family from the Fleming Island location. We got 5 different flavors, including my favorite, the Maple Cajun. You gotta try it. Drink specials, a full menu, and wings. Plus, lots of TVs for the playoffs or maybe even the upcoming McGregor fight. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings, 2 locations, the West Side and Fleming Island.
At Action News Jacks, we're here for severe. When storms threaten, put your trust in the Action News Jacks First Alert Weather Team, led by Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, rated the most accurate for the last 13 years.
The First Alert Weather Team is the only team of certified meteorologists in the Jacksonville area. That means we have the most schooling and training to forecast and predict severe weather. And that experience will keep you safe from a storm.
Action News Jacks First Alert Weather on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Kick off the new year at Renna's Pizza. Want a fresh one? Renna's has fresh ingredients, fresh food throughout the menu, and the pizza is so fresh and so good. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. We love bringing the show to Renna's Pizza. We know we'll eat well, and we were at the Neptune Beach location recently. Perfect setting to hang out, eat, drink, and watch the games on TV. Renna's has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida, Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach. Kick off the new year at Renna's Pizza.
Hey, it's Goose from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
Now, back to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and in the TuneIn Radio app.
You walk into a locker room, there's guys of all ages, there's guys from all different parts of the country, there's guys of all shapes and sizes, yet they come together to form a team and play the hardest game that there is to play. They play in bad weather. They play when they're injured. They play when they don't feel great. They find a way to get it done as a team. It's the greatest game that there is.
Yeah, Austin Lane is about to run through a wall. The greatest game there ever is.
I stole my size 15 cleats just in the closet, just waiting for an excuse to get brought out. Just waiting.
I got some soccer cleats. Do those work?
Soccer cleats work. I mean, if you're a wide receiver, no, truth be told, hey, here's a fun little fact. So my time with the Bears and with the Lions, I didn't wear cleats. Like, I didn't wear the traditional football cleats. Mm-hmm. I wore lacrosse cleats.
Oh.
Do you know why?
I'd love to hear.
Because they're softer. So like the way my foot is set up, I have like a pretty narrow foot. It's like obviously narrow and long. I wear a size 15, and all the shoes that the league offered you from Nike, they all fit like one size foot, and it was all one style of foot and didn't fit me. So actually, I got the idea from Ndamukong Suh, because I was in the training room one day and I noticed, like, dude, are those like, do you have your own cleats? Are those like custom cleats that you made? He's like, no, these are actually lacrosse cleats that I wear. And I'm like, what's up with that? And he's like, well, since they're lacrosse cleats, they're a little softer and they're made for cutting, because, you know, there's a lot of agility involved in lacrosse. So they're a lot softer and they just feel better for him. So I tried them out. He gave me a pair, worked out for me. And then I was rocking lacrosse cleats for the rest of my career. Now, the team wasn't like with me and Sue, because Sue got him paid for, obviously. The team got him like bundles on top of bundles of lacrosse cleats. Me, Austin Lane, you know, especially with the Bears, number 73 playing defensive end, you don't have a lot of luxury with that number or at that position. So I had to go on Eastbay and literally order my own cleats to play in the NFL. Not a big deal. I probably went through about 4 or 5 pairs of them. Tax expense, not a big deal once again.
Yeah, put it on the tax return.
Yeah,
sure.
but obviously I had to pay for my own cleats.
How about that?
Yeah.
Just because you wanted to be a lacrosse superstar.
Just because I want to be a lacrosse superstar and the other ones hurt my feet. Could I be any more entitled in terms of getting free cleats that I had to turn down because they're a little too hard for my footers?
I thought the receivers were the prima donnas.
I know, man. Hey, those defensive ends, they'll surprise you sometime.
Now, did you ever do like pedicures?
No,
was that ever part of your routine?
So
because I know there's a lot of guys that do manicures and pedicures, right?
So you know, because everyone's got like their pre-game routine, right? So usually your pre-game routine, it happens either on a Friday night after practice, or it'll happen Saturday morning during the walkthrough when you're playing at home. And I would legitimately say around 50% of the team, they would go get manicures and pedicures done. Was never my thing, to tell you the truth, because, you know, I think like beauty salons. Now, from what I'm told, you get like a nice little foot rub and, you know, kind of loosen some of the fascia up in the heel and everything like that. So it actually makes you possibly perform better. I don't know about that. But from my perspective, I never took it upon myself to go with like Rasheed Mathis, to go with like, you know, DG to go get a pedicure and manicure. No, thank you.
Have you still never done one?
I've never done one.
Wow, you're missing out.
So they're the real deal. You're here to tell me I'm missing out.
I'm here to tell you they are great.
So do they actually like rub your feet and they kind of work some of the soreness out or not?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the really nice thing that I've found with pedicures is, they do the nails and the feet and whatever. Yeah. But then they give you like a really good calf massage.
Oh.
Like they go to town on that thing. And for me, that's my favorite part about it.
Sure.
Because, you know, like on the girl, they got to actually like do stuff with the nails and make them look great and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Good job. But so they got a lot of free time for the guys, so then they just work on some massage. It's
interesting.
Great.
Well, and I'm not even lying. Like, it seemed like every single wide receiver that I came across and every single corner swore by him.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And, like, I guess when I'm in the trenches, we're a little more grimy. We're a little more dirty. I'm not an offensive lineman dirty, because those are the grimiest dudes of all. I don't got to tell anybody. You guys know.
Right.
But, you know, defensive linemen are up there as well. So I just never had, I guess, the motivation to get my feet rubbed.
Well, now you're in the media. We get pampered.
Okay. Is that a tax expense?
It sure is. It helps me do my job at work.
Okay.
To be in a great state of mind and relaxed.
Well, I'm going to keep that in mind, you know, and we're talking about like routines, because let's be honest, man, whether you're a football player, professional, or you work in the media, I mean, we're all creatures of habit, right? So like everyone kind of had their little pregame routine. And for me, Dude, it wasn't anything crazy. Like I literally, especially on the road game, so like that Saturday after the walkthrough, we have to get ready because we have like 2 hours, 3 hours, you know this. And then we go on the plane. What I would do is I would go pick up some food from someplace. Usually P.F. Chang's was my go-to.
Okay.
Oh yeah, super healthy by the way.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
I'd go pick up some P.F. Chang's and then I'd have to go hit up. Yep, correct.
Yeah.
General Tso's chicken. And then I would go hit up my neighbor because I needed him to tie my tie because I had no idea how to tie my tie for the road.
Is that right?
And back with like Del Rio and Malarkey, we had to wear ties. It's not like it is now where guys are rocking jeans, sandals, flip-flops, you name it. No, back in the days, I'm not trying to complain. I am a little bit. We had to actually wear like a two-piece suit and then sometimes three-piece suit if you're Greg Jones rocking the vest and everything because he could pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, my biggest thing, my biggest routine had to be trying to find someone to tie my tie. Usually that was my neighbor Donovan. Shout out to my neighbor Donovan.
Thanks, Donovan.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Do you still not know how to tie a tie?
I do now, thanks to YouTube. Yeah. Yep.
That's how I learned. I was about to say YouTube.
Thanks to YouTube.
In college, that's where I learned how to do it. Was on YouTube.
Yeah, and
I do a nice double Windsor. That's my style.
Oh, to see, I think like my neck's a little bit too wide for the double Windsor, so I just go with the single knot because it's a little slimming. It adds to this aesthetic, if you will.
Indeed.
But enough of tie talk.
We are really off topic here this block.
But let's go ahead and get back into Matt Rhule a little bit, you know, and a guy that can possibly change the culture, replacing a guy that does change cultures in Ron Rivera. And before we went to break here, I asked you a question, and I wanted you to be Shad Khan. And I get it. Hindsight's 20/20, right? But if we look back on it now and you look at all the options available, one could think, especially with your quarterback situation, with your draft capital, they could have got somebody intriguing to replace Doug Marrone. They didn't. Once again, hindsight's 20/20. But my question to you is, knowing what you know now, Stuart, or should I say Shad, who do you go after? Who do you try to pursue pending that you're not going to keep Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone?
That's the tough part because if you're taking out both of them, then you have to find a general manager and a head coach.
Correct.
And if we're just talking head coaches, and we were in this past offseason, Mike McCarthy would have been my guy.
Okay.
Just because of that vast amount of experience he has in the NFL, and not just a quick bit of success, but a sustained success. Mm-hmm. And I think that is that key, is that he was able to have a very successful team for a long period of time. Now, the detractors can say he only won one title with Aaron Rodgers. How did you only win one championship and not
that's what everybody in the entire state of Wisconsin would tell you right now if they could call in. Yes.
Correct. But where we're at right now, one championship's great, but then just to be competing for that level and to raise your game to that point, I think that would have been a good way to go. Now, you have to find the right general manager to pair him with, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. Obviously, he doesn't have to worry about it in Dallas because Jerry Jones is going to make all those decisions for him, and that would have been a different situation than Shad Khan, where while I do think he will be more involved moving forward just because of the way things have transpired the past few years and wanting to get closer to the product and get closer to having this team win, at the same time, he's not Jerry Jones. He's not that guy who knows everything that's going on in the world of professional football. He's got a lot of other things going on in his life, as we all know. So it would take an experienced general manager to pair him with, I think, if you were to go that route.
It's a good call, too, because if you look at, do you keep the general manager, do you let him go? Well, we don't know what happened with Matt Rhule in New York, right? Because I think that was the hotbed for Matt Rhule to go. It was a guy that coached with the Giants before under the Tom Coughlin era, and one could think, well, if Dave Gettleman is still there, the GM, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions about him, who's to say that maybe Matt Rhule is a little turned off from the fact that he had to work with Gettleman? Maybe New York was never on the list just because he didn't have a choice at a new general manager. He had to make do with what he had, hence why he went to Carolina. I think McCarthy is definitely intriguing, from a perspective of, like you said, he's had arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Maybe not the best quarterback, but the most talented, okay?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would say Tom Brady's probably the best quarterback because the Super Bowls back it up. But I think from, the quarterback position, the most talent, Aaron Rodgers for sure.
You just got to double-check that.
Exactly. And to have him and only win one Super Bowl, it's very telling, especially being an offensive-minded coach, right? Especially being a coach who was calling the plays for a long time in Green Bay. So I'm not going to underestimate, though, the fact that McCarthy's going to more analytics now. That seems to be where the game is heading, and I respect that. And you can't knock the fact that he's had some time off. whether it's a boss, a CEO of a company, or just an employee, anytime you get a little time off because essentially you failed, right? Like it's safe to say he failed in Green Bay. That's why he was let go. So anytime you fail, you get let go, you get cut, you got to turn in your stuff, you get time to reflect a little bit, kind of time to reflect of like what I would have maybe done differently, what I got to do going forward. That's some super beneficial time. And this is what Mike McCarthy's had, in my opinion. He's had time to watch how the NFL is evolving, not inside the box, but outside the box looking in. And I think he's going to change away his style a little bit from that standpoint. So I think Mike McCarthy is definitely probably the most intriguing candidate, even more than Matt Rhule. If it was me, and if I'm Shad Khan, I'm still going with Matt Rhule because number one, he's a winner wherever he goes, and I like that. Number two, he's a culture builder, which I love. And number three, it is that sexy pick. And I get it. Sure, it might sell a couple more tickets, but who really cares about tickets at the end of the day, right? Because you're here to win games. If your team's not performing on the field, people are not going to come watch you play football. We've seen it this year a little bit. I mean, it's with any NFL team. That's just standard economics.
Pro sports franchise,
yeah,
sure.
That's just standard economics. But I think just Matt Rhule brings something to the table that we haven't seen in a while, or we haven't ever seen ever. You know, he's got that little bit of a swag. I think he's a guy that can work within the locker room, and like I said, build a culture. And then, especially with teams like the Panthers, teams like the Redskins, and teams like the Jaguars, who have had problems with their cultures, who have had problems winning games. That's where you start, and then you build from there.
Do you think the people in Phoenix are happy right now with Cliff Kingsbury and what he did in his first year as that? He was this Matt Rhule pick a year ago. That's what he was.
Yeah. So, to me, Kingsbury, he's still a little bit of an anomaly, right? Because I can sit here and say, I'll tell you what.
He didn't get that tie.
I don't like guys getting breaks for like their cell phone usage, right, during practice, whatever that was. To me, that was a little ridiculous. But that's but that's kind of the new school way of doing things. I think right now the book on Kingsbury, it's not complete yet. We have one season of a sample size. I think this next season now we're going to see him implement his offense a little more and really get the personnel that he wants to use, right? Because this is a guy who went out of his way. A guy who went out of his way to get Kyler Murray. You had a first-round guy on Josh Rosen that the team invested a lot in. You said, you know what? I don't care. If I'm coming to the team, I want my guy, and that's Kyler Murray. Now, I respect that. And I was the one that said, listen, if you got rid of Gardner Minshew and you brought a new coaching staff in, that's okay as long as that coaching staff knows who they want. For instance, if you go after Matt Rhule, so say in Carolina, say Matt Rhule goes to Carolina and goes, Tua. I want Tua. I've been studying his film all year. This is the guy that we can build around. I'm passionate about Tua Tagovailoa. Okay. I respect that then because at least, you're going to live and die with that pick. You're going to fall in that grenade if it doesn't go right, and you're going to celebrate and bask in all the glory if you hoist a Super Bowl trophy. And I respect that. But the last thing I would want is a guy that's on the fence about something. Like, I wouldn't want Kingsbury to come in and be like, Josh Rosen, maybe we can make that work, maybe not. I mean, heck, even look at Chip Kelly. Like, Chip Kelly's offense the first year in the NFL that I had to play against, it wasn't fun, man. It was a game changer for sure. What did Chip Kelly do? When Michael Vick got hurt, Nick Foles came in, had a Pro Bowl type year. What did Chip Kelly do? He got rid of Nick Foles. He said, you know what? I think Sam Bradford's the better quarterback. I want him. And this is after a Nick Foles Pro Bowl type year. Now, did it work out for Chip Kelly? Absolutely not. Sam Bradford didn't really do that well. And hey, listen, I got respect for Sam Bradford too, man. I used to train with him back in the day, prepping for the combine. I got to hold his Heisman Trophy. I wanted to take the subway. He wouldn't let me. That's another long story. We'll get into that later. But I respect Sam Bradford, man.
Making that clipboard money.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, there are coaches that live or die by their picks, and I respect that. So we'll see with Kyler Murray. We'll see with Kingsbury. I'll say this throughout the season.
We'll see with Rhule, too, because look at the quarterback situation he's jumping into. It's not a solidified one. It's got a whole lot of question marks.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, do you keep Cam Newton or do you move on to that next level? Do you try and go with Kyle Allen, Will Grier? I mean, there's so many ways you can go with it there in Charlotte.
And I'm going to say this about Kingsbury real quick. He made some decisions this year that I didn't see coming. Number one, David Johnson. David Johnson 2-3 years ago was the top back. He was the man. He could run. He could catch out of the backfield. He was the jack of all trades, master of all trades.
Obliterated a fantasy season of mine when I took him next year.
Yeah,
and he went out in
hurt.
the first game of the year, and it was just wiped out my team the whole
you mentioned
year.
it. So he gets hurt, right?
Yep.
So he's coming into this past season now, and everyone's like, all right, well, he's going to be back. He's 100% healthy. He should be good to go. Well, what do? they only give him like half the reps. And as the season goes on, they go after Kenyon Drake. And I remember seeing that trade and thinking like, why would they want Kenyon Drake? You got David Johnson, one of the best running backs in the league, at your disposal. Well, what did Kenyon Drake do? Kenyon Drake absolutely went off the last quarter of the season. We're talking 3 touchdown games. We're talking 4 touchdown games. And that was because Kingsbury saw something in him that fit his offense. Not to say David Johnson's not a good quarterback, but guess what? Maybe Kingsbury just said, you know what? He's a great running back, but he doesn't fit what I want to do. Yeah. So once again, I respect those types of moves, and I respect those types of coaches that do that.
Which is one reason to err on the side of keeping a staff in place, is because you don't have to go through those growing pains, that process of weeding out the guys you don't want, bringing in the guys you do want, because these should be your guys already.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are question marks as to, do the Jaguars have their guys right now? Do you keep Todd Wash in that defense that he's running right now? Or do you try and find something a little bit different? And we'll see what happens with that. But that's obviously a big motivating factor for keeping the same staff, because you feel pretty good about the guys that you have on this roster. Now, whether the fans do, whether the results show that you are good, well, we'll see. And they haven't in the past couple of years. So we'll kind of see what they decide to do to revamp it here in this offseason.
Well, and and this kind of goes back into
that draft capital is huge. As you mentioned.
It's absolutely huge.
9 and 20.
And it's funny you bring up that draft capital, because this goes back to a conversation that me and Brent, I want to say, had maybe last week. And we were talking about, what do head coaches look for? Because we were under the impression, obviously, Dallas was a very coveted position to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, quote unquote, America's team. In front of all the national media, like they're a big time team, right?
So Arlington Cowboys.
The Arlington Cowboys. There we go. But Brent and I disagreed on one team, and that was the New York Giants. Because in my opinion, the Giants weren't really that appealing, especially with Gettleman and that ownership. But Brent tried to convey it as, well, it's New York City. It's the media. It's Giants football. It's the G-men. And let's be honest, the past couple of decades, they've had some success. They have won some Super Bowls, and it is New York City. So one would think that's an appealing job. Well, Matt Rhule sees that and was like, no, I'm going to Carolina. So I guess my question to you, Stuart, and I already kind of have my mind made up because I've kind of preached it before to Brent. How much do coaches look at the bigger markets? How much do coaches look at the media and like what they can do there? Or how much of it is just, I see a project that needs a lot of my work. I can do that. I see a team that's got a lot of draft capital. I want that. Or I see a team that has a great quarterback. I want that as well. How much of it is the market and how much of it is just a team situation?
I think a lot of that has to do with the personality of the coach. If you're the type of coach who wants to be in that spotlight, who wants to be that guy who's on the front page, where you're talking about major tabloids that come out every day, like in New York, or the back page in that case.
Yeah.
If you're that guy, then yes, a market like that can be more appealing to you. You look at Doug Marrone. Do you think he wants to be in that sort of market, or do you think he'd rather be in a more laid back, relaxed kind of Jacksonville feel, where you don't have? I'm trying to think how to put this without putting our media, who we are, in a negative light. The way I look at it, again, trying to think of a great way to put this. A lot of people will consider us not to be an aggressive media.
Sure.
Is aggressive the right word?
I would say aggressive. I think people would say that we're a little more casual. Yeah, I mean, I don't think, we're not putting out these headlines like fire him right now, like get him out of here. Like, we're not doing that.
And certainly when the time comes, those headlines do come out. Those stories do come out.
And then I say those things sometimes.
You say it when you have to.
Yeah.
I feel like in some of these larger markets, there's a lot more negativity towards the teams, a lot more just bad vibes. Whereas in my personal perspective, it's like we're covering this team. This team doing well is good for Jacksonville, and that's what we want. So we want the team to do well. We don't go into it with a negative mindset, a negative feeling towards it.
Yeah.
Whereas in some of these bigger markets, you've got these people that are doing that.
But of course, I mean, if you want a prime example of that, Stuart, go back to when Daniel Jones got drafted.
Yeah.
The guy didn't even take a preseason snap yet. Everyone's like, get this kid out of here. What are the Giants doing? What is Gettleman doing? What an embarrassment to the franchise. Well, guess what? Guy has a pretty good preseason, has a pretty good first game, and all of a sudden, New York's putting out headlines, the savior of the New York Giants.
Yeah, it's it's a very different market style, I will say that. Plus, everyone up there is angry. It's so cold and it's snowing and it's miserable. Like, this is a cold day for us. It's like 60 degrees. It's beautiful outside. The sun's shining. Yeah. We live in a fantastic place, so we tend to be a little more positive, have a good energy and vibe about us. So I think a lot of that has to come with the coaches and what they want. What they want in their life. Do you want all that negativity? And that comes along with being the big market, but you also get a lot more exposure. You get a chance to do more ads and commercials. If you want to do that sort of stuff, you're out there a whole lot more. Maybe in a place like, say, Jacksonville, you can focus on football, coaching, the stuff that you really want to dig in on and worry about. So,
and listen, I'm going to say this. Like, coaches, they care about one thing only first and foremost, and that's winning ball games, right? They want to hoist that trophy. That's why they got into coaching in the first place. I don't think coaches really care of how many links they're getting clicked on social media, how many views are watching on their press conferences, how much the national media is talking about them.
Coaches that give breaks during practice for social media maybe are.
Maybe a little bit, but you're in Arizona, you're not in New York, so enjoy that.
True.
But like one could say Adam Gase. Is he really a big fan of New York? Probably not, because everything that he does gets talked about. My only point is we shouldn't put so much stake into the bigger markets, right? I think everyone's on a fair playing field, and it's more about the rosters, more about the management, and more about the team than it is actually the city. More on ESPN 690 when we get back.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. Although he's made no official statement, Tom Brady appears to be coming back next season after an Instagram post where he said, quote, "In both life and football, failure is inevitable. You don't always win. You can, however, learn from that failure, pick yourself up with great enthusiasm, place yourself in the arena again. And that's right where you will find me, because I know I still have more to prove." And in the burgeoning XFL, the XFL rules have been unveiled for its second inaugural season. Here's league commissioner and father of Andrew, Oliver Luck.
So as we put our rule book together, we were trying to really do one thing, which was to create the platform for a fast-paced, up-tempo game. That's what fans told us they wanted.
Stay connected with ESPN 690 while you're at work by listening on ESPN690.com. Best kept secret in tires is TireOutlet.com. Tire Outlet offers wholesale prices with premium service, and TireOutlet.com always has a safety-first focus with locations throughout the First Coast. There's no reason to go anywhere else for tires and service.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. My family and I invested in a Kinetico system from CGC Water a while ago, and we're so glad we did. The team at CGC Water makes it so easy to get the best quality water running through my entire home and the best tasting drinking water right at my sink. And it even makes the coffee taste better. Do yourselves a favor and start the new year off right. Financing options available with approved credit. Call 904-694-2424. Tell them Brent sent you, or visit cgcwater.com, your local authorized independent Kinetico dealer. The best food with the best service in Jacksonville, and now more options for you and the family. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has grown. A third location just opened up downtown at the start of the new year. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it. If you have, you know all about it and love it. Already locations on San Jose Boulevard and Atlantic Beach. Now Jumpin' Jack's House of Food is a neighbor downtown on West Adams Street. Get on the email list and get something free every time. Order online, jumpinjackshof.com. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, the best food with the best service in Jacksonville.
A healthier you is the first step toward a healthy baby. When planning a pregnancy, baby steps toward better health can deliver big results. Exercising regularly and eating a balanced diet will help you reach or maintain a healthy weight and increase the likelihood of a healthy baby. Taking a multivitamin containing folic acid every day helps prevent birth defects, and regular medical and dental checkups are especially important when planning for pregnancy. To learn more about taking your baby steps toward a healthy pregnancy, call Florida's Family Health Line at 1-800-451-2229.
I'm not a big talker. I am a big doer. But sometimes the only way to solve the problem is to get on the horn and figure it out. So the only people I like talking to? Grainger. With knowledgeable product experts, ready with the answers to my toughest questions, calling Grainger is the one conversation I don't mind having. From machining and motor parts to valves and vacuum pumps. When it comes to solving my problems, Grainger's got my back. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Trust, tradition, and quality. A winning combination to feel good about your home. Sometimes it's just that time to replace your roof Or maybe you need to fix your roof after a recent storm. Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau of Action Sports Jacks, and there are so many roofing companies in the area. But which one can you trust? Let me tell you about my friends at Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company. Trust a family-owned business with owners that grew up right here in Jacksonville. Talk to the owners directly. Get free estimates. And you can trust Jack C. Wilson Roofing to walk you through each step of the process. Tradition? Jack C. Wilson is a name you know. The longest-standing roofing company in Northeast Florida. They have been repairing and replacing asphalt shingle roofs since 1946. How about quality? A roof you will tell your neighbors about. Quality from start to finish, shingle by shingle. You can request a free estimate at jackcwilsonroofing.com. It's the first name in Jacksonville roofing. And make sure you let them know Brent Martineau sent you.
Hey, boss, check this out. 'Twas the week after Christmas, a scene to behold. At the do-it-yourself alarm company, what was about to unfold? So many alarms being returned in frustration by unhappy customers all across the nation. The power dome was ugly, the cords are on the floor, and no local monitoring was a problem for sure. But smart folks are out there and they shop around for the best security company that can be found. The name is Safe Touch. Security is their game. Safe Touch is the best. The others are just lame.
What are you on Safe Touch's payroll now?
What, you don't like it?
Just so I know you haven't completely lost it, tell me the Crooks R Us motto again.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah, and don't you forget it.
Sorry, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Be bold, Jacksonville, whether you want to be cold or hot. Bold City Heating and Air will help. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. I needed a new air conditioning system this summer and called the good folks at Bold City Heating and Air. It was worth the call. A competitive price, good communication, fantastic service. A new system is a big investment. You want a good experience. My family had that at Bold City Heating and Air. You can too. They will help you design the perfect system for your home while staying within your budget. Be bold and give Bold City Heating and Air a call or visit boldcityac.com.
Eggnog in the carpet, wine on the sofa, dingy-looking tile and grout? No problem. Call Zero Res. Zero Res technicians are cleaning freaks. Over 2,600 Google reviews with a 4.9 stars. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
My rookie year, we had these pills that we would swallow. It goes in your stomach, and then they can come by with like a scanner, and they can see what your body temperature is. Each pill that we took, and keep in mind, it's 90 guys in training camp. Each pill cost $100. So from that perspective, you're spending that much money per day, for the entire training camp. Yeah, there's a lot of money being spent for stuff like that.
Well, I just know how many gummy worms I had on the team playing, and I wasn't even part of the roster.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN690.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from Golick & Wingo. You're listening to Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane. Give the guys a call. Grab your cell phone and call *690. This is ESPN 690.
We're going to have a tough, hardworking, competitive team. Tough to me means that each and every day, no matter how we feel, no matter what the circumstances are, we're going to come to work and we're going to do our job and get it done. I want to have a hardworking team, a team that believes in relentless preparation. I want guys that love football. I want coaches that love football, that each and every day are searching for an edge. And then I want guys who are competitive, that want to be the best.
You know what I'm laughing? Because listening to Matt Rhule there, and obviously he's inspiring people. He's putting on his TED Talk.
Yep.
He's putting out his best performance for all the Panthers fans out there. And I hear that, and then I go directly back to Kansas City and what Andy Reid used to give us for speeches. And believe me when I say it was nothing like that. But if anything, it was even more impressive because he's still got guys to play from. If that was Andy Reid and he's coming to Kansas City, it'd be like, So you guys got some good barbecue around this place. So what do we got here? We got Gates Barbecue. We got Oklahoma Joe's Barbecue. You know, I'm more a brisket guy myself, but I can go for some burn ends too. So I'll probably go to Oklahoma Joe's there, stand in line for that. But yeah, you know, and you have to wonder: are you more of a wet rub type of guy or a dry rub type of guy? You know, and it would just be talking about barbecue for the next hour.
Yeah.
And I will absolutely love it. And the reason why I brought that up was because guess what? He had that conversation during a meeting one time for the team, and we got in a huge debate. We're supposed to be prepping, I think, to play Green Bay preseason game number 3 or 4, and we're talking about which place in Kansas City's got the best barbecue. That's just who Andy Reid is, though. And at the end of the day, it takes all types. But you can't deny whether you're Matt Rhule, whether you're Andy Reid, you need the players to be successful.
It's funny that he's saying all this stuff, and it's like, well, you're the NFL now, so you can go get those guys.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
This is your pep talk for the fans and everything, so I get it. But it's just funny. It's like you're not. I mean, you're recruiting some free agents, but for the most part, you could go get these guys.
Of course.
This is on you now. This is the NFL. This is the professional game. It's your job to go find these guys and go get them.
And we're talking about getting guys here, joined by Action Sports Jack Stewart Weber. Brent Martineau's on vacation for the next couple of days. So
we changed the graphic today, by the way.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It was nice. Was that you or the?
No, I did that.
It's kind of sad you have to change your own graphic, huh?
I made one for Marcel, too, on Friday.
It just goes to show that we haven't made it quite yet on this show.
Or that I'm awesome at lots of things.
Good point. Jack of all trades. There we go again. Yeah. But when we're talking about your ability to go get the guys that you want, well, that's where the Jaguars stand right now. And yesterday, Brent and I got in a little conversation about, do you plan for the present or do you look for the future? And when I'm talking about that, I'm referring to the draft this year. And I get it. We're still months and months away from the draft. But let's be honest here, Stuart. This may be, well, obviously it's the most important draft, I think, in Dave Caldwell's career and Doug Marrone's career.
First time he's had 2 number 1 picks.
Exactly. But it's probably one of the most important drafts in Jaguars franchise history because a lot is riding on how well the Jaguars do in this draft. And I think if you want to debate whether you plan for the future, you plan for the present, or a little bit of both, if I'm Doug Marrone, if I'm Dave Caldwell, I was granted a lifeline, okay? Part of me was probably thinking I probably shouldn't be here this up-and-coming season, but for whatever reason, whether it was Gardner Minshew, whether it was something that I said in the meeting, at Ruth Chris, wherever else they're holding their meeting, holding court, I got the job coming back. And I've been granted another opportunity.
It was on the yacht.
It was on the yacht.
Let's be honest.
Well, what is that one called again?
The Kismet.
The Kismet, okay. It was on the Kismet. So I have that lifeline, and I have another opportunity to try to make things right for the team, for the city, for the organization. So, in my opinion, if I'm Dave, if I'm Doug, I do not care about 5 years down the line. I don't care about 10 years down the line. All I care about is this up-and-coming draft and guys that we can go after right away, we can bring in, and they can contribute day one. Because that's what I need to survive. If I'm an animal in the wild, I said yesterday, it's not the biggest, it's not the smartest, it's not the fastest animal that survives. It's the animal that can adapt. And if I'm trying to adapt right now and win ball games, I see the Houston Texans having some success. I see the Tennessee Titans having some success. The Colts are a quarterback away, I think, from being pretty legit. I got to up my game up, and I have to up my game up right now because if I have another 6-10 season next year, I probably won't be here. So from that perspective, I'm planning this draft around like we have to win right now at all costs.
My personal perspective on this is that the draft is built for you to be able to do both if you're doing it correctly. If you're doing it the right way, and one of the reasons why I would take such umbrage with that Taven Bryan pick a few years ago is if you're looking at the first and second and maybe even third rounds, you're looking at guys who can be starters on your team, guys who can come in right away, make a difference. If you're looking at the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, that's where you get your projects. That's where you get your guys that you can mold and you can develop. Now, are there going to be guys that go in the 1st and 2nd round that aren't ready to be starters? Sure. Yes, but my personal opinion, I'm not okay with doing that. Yeah. I'm not okay with doing that with a player because I want those guys that I pick right away off the top of the draft to be my guys that are going to start right away or definitely make an impact. Obviously, if you're like a 4th receiver, you're not starting right away. But you know what I mean? A guy who is going to have meaningful playing time on your team this year right away.
Exactly. And we're talking about that. Listen, some people want Tua. I'm going to say this right now. If I see another mock draft from Mel Kiper, from McShay, from CBS Sports, from Bleacher Report.
You'll see tons of them.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to start canceling my subscriptions that I don't even have because they're all company paid for. But I'm going to start canceling my subscriptions anyways to those websites if I keep seeing Tua going to the Jaguars. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're going to bring another first-round quarterback on the team. You're going to have Nick Foles and you're going to have Gardner Minshew all in the same roster. And you're going to tell me that, all right, well, we can go and develop Tua. We can go ahead and make him available. You know, let him get his...
The next coaching staff can develop him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point, Stuart. It's like, if I'm Dave Caldwell, if I'm Doug Marrone, am I really looking at Tua? Am I looking at Justin Herbert? Am I trying to, quote-unquote, trade up for Joe Burrows, which would never happen? But am I looking at Joe Burrows and being like, man, this is the guy. This is the guy that we need. You're absolutely not doing that because, number one, your jobs are on the line. You do not have the luxury to plan for the future. Now, if you build a successful draft, if you put talent on the field and you win games, well, guess what? You prepped yourself for the future anyways. And that's how I approach this whole draft, this up-and-coming season. No, I'm not going to draft Tua. No, I'm not going to draft an intriguing quarterback in the first round. There's just no way I'm going to do it because I have to win games right now. And if we look at how the draft has shaped out the past couple years of the positions that seem to be the most game-changing, because that's what I'm after right now, Stuart. I'm after game changers at a game-changing position that can win me ball games directly. And if I look at that the past couple years, yeah, it would be nice to have a legit offensive lineman, maybe a guard, maybe a tackle. But you know what? I like Drawn Taylor a lot. Andrew Norwell probably sticking around now. Is he the best guard out there? Probably not. He's definitely not. I mean, he's not playing like he's the highest paid guard in the NFL. No doubt. But I think he's serviceable.
Yep.
You know, AJ Cann, I think it's okay. One can make an argument for Cam Robinson, but I'm looking someplace else. And the two positions that I'm looking at, especially in the first round where you have two picks, I'm looking at two positions. Number one, I'm looking at defensive tackle. More specifically, the three technique. Obviously, you can get a nose too, but no, I'm talking about a three technique. I'm talking about a guy who can come in and be a difference maker.
The one that'll show up on many of your mock drafts being Derek Brown.
Derek Brown. And guess what, man? I love Derek Brown.
Oh, yeah.
I love Derek Brown, and I'm not sure where the defense is going to go from here, Stuart. I don't know if Todd Wash is going to be the coach going into training camp or not. My hope and what I would want to see happen is if Todd Wash is still, in fact, the defensive coordinator, I would want to see him throw some wrinkles in, just like the 49ers did this season. And if you want to throw a wrinkle in on your defense, it starts with your defensive line, and it starts with the middle, and it starts with your three technique. I don't know if Calais Campbell is going to be here next season or not. To me, it doesn't really matter because, let's be honest, he's not going to play an entire game anyways. You need a guy to spell him. You have Taven Bryant, but I think he's still kind of a work in progress a little bit. He has gotten maybe a little better, but he needs to keep on progressing and progressing. But I want a guy that you can change the game with Derek Brown, and I think that would be a fantastic pick at defensive tackle for the Jaguars or whoever other defensive tackle that they like. Another position that I'm keying in on for sure, and it's maybe you can call it a luxury position if you want, but I really don't care. Look at the Tennessee Titans this year. All right, Derrick Henry, yeah, obviously a great running back, but A.J. Brown changed that team. You know, obviously Ryan Tannehill coming in helped out a lot too, but A.J. Brown, over 1,000 yards receiving his first year. DK Metcalf changed the game in Seattle. And I was the guy that was on here saying, oh, DK Metcalf, he's got a slower shuttle run than Tom Brady did.
But he's jacked.
But he's jacked. I mean, yeah, sure.
That was the big headline
about him. He can run in a straight line,
yeah.
But his shuttle run was slower than Tom Brady's. I probably wouldn't take him. But guess what? Look at how DK Metcalf's looking right now, man. Okay?
Yeah, no doubt
so from
about
that
it.
perspective, if I'm keying on two positions for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going wide receiver and defensive tackle.
Yeah,
I want to hear your thoughts when we come back after the break.
We'll definitely have a lot of time to talk about those positions here for the next few months, and we'll discuss that a little more here after the break.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
I
More
like it.
on ESPN690 and Action Sports Jacks.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
It's time for some straight talk. You know those football players who are all talk, no show? Well, big wireless carriers aren't much different. Well, Straight Talk Wireless doesn't give you the hype, just the savings. For just $45 a month, you'll get the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. No contract. All on the same 4G LTE networks as the big guys, but up to half the cost. Savings delivered right to your wallet. Only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Lowe's has the supplies pros like you use most every day in the quantities you need, and will even help you save. Now during our Pro Paint event, pick up 5-gallon pails of Valspar ceiling paint for $28 less, now just $99. And get up to 30% off in-stock Owens Corning or Johns Manville fiberglass installation when you buy 15 bats, 20 rolls, or 30 bags. And for a limited time, save an additional 5% just by using your Lowe's business credit account. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Paint offer valid through 1/10. Installation offer valid through 1/15. Credit offer valid 1/7 to 1/9. Subject to credit approval. Exclusions apply. U.S. only.
Small business owners, it's been a great year, and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
Kick off the new year at Renna's Pizza. Want a fresh one? Renna's has fresh ingredients, fresh food throughout the menu, and the pizza is so fresh and so good. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. We love bringing the show to Renna's Pizza. We know we'll eat well, and we were at the Neptune Beach location recently. Perfect setting to hang out, eat, drink, and watch the games on TV. Renna's has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida: Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach. Kick off the new year at Renna's Pizza.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi, developing story. Positive news for the Lakers on Anthony Davis. MRI results came back clean on the star power forward's back. He has a bruise just above his tailbone. Will travel with the team on its upcoming road trip and be listed as questionable Friday against the Mavs. Davis has been having a strong first season in L.A. Some credit for that belongs to a certain teammate, notes former Knicks coach David Fizdale.
LeBron James, who I just think is just the highest IQ player I've ever been around. This guy just really understands how to make people better. The fact that he was willing to, I wouldn't say take a back seat, but to really empower AD to be the guy that he is and make him feel like he has a huge role in leading that team. It really pushed the team forward quickly.
David Fizdale on Golick and Wingo. Lakers tops in the West at 30-7. Pacers guard Victor Oladipo targeting January 29th for his return from a ruptured quad tendon. Former Michigan football coach Brady Hope expected to be the new head coach at San Diego State. Aztecs coach Rocky Long stepping down after 9 seasons, reports ESPN's Adam Rittenberg.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically, with no limit to how much they'll match. Millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. Discover Cashback Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anna Jar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Whether we're playing Madden or if we're playing in the championship game, they want to be the best each and every day, not just compared to the guy across from them, though that's important. They want to be at their best. They want to be the very best that they can be in everything that they do. I think when you have that mentality in the locker room, you can be special. When you have it with your coaching staff, you can be really good. And when it starts with your owner and it starts with your GM, you can be memorable.
You think he wants to win lunch?
Playing Madden, great buzzword. I wonder if he had like a little just a cheat sheet of like terms that millennials use, like whether you're playing Fortnite or you're playing
Night Fort. What?
Apex Legends. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's key into the newer generation of football player. I'm not hating the dude for it. Like I said, I'd want to play for him. I'm questioning hanging up my microphone chops right now and getting back on my football cleats. So
you're playing NCAA Football 12. Wait, what? Is that not what they play anymore?
You'd be surprised.
Sorry. Excuse me. What was the last year they did that?
I think I was still in college, so it would have been 2009, 8.
Okay. was a while ago.
Yeah. I just remember because
I remember playing as mascots.
Well, here's the thing.
That was always my favorite thing to do.
So playing NCAA football, obviously being in college, it's cool because they even have the FCS schools. At the time, they were referred to as 1AA schools. So if you had like the download, if you're connected to the internet, you can download all the FCS schools. Very cool. Murray State was on there. And you know how every single team on NCAA, they had the impact players.
Sure.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's usually the best players,
It was your
obviously,
kicker,
right?
wasn't it?
Like, I mean, no.
Okay.
Like, if you're playing USC, I mean, yeah, here's Lionheart and here's Reggie Bush. I mean, every team's got those glowing impact players, and the game let you know about it. Well, and once again, I'm kind of making everybody upset today, whether it's talking about mock drafts or whatever. But hey, EA Sports, could you put a little effort into who you make the impact players for FCS schools? Because when we got the download, we downloaded Murray State. Obviously, Stuart, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little excited, right? Hey, consensus preseason All-American.
I mean, how many of the guys on your team went to the NFL?
3 of them actually did.
Okay,
so impressive.
You know?
But spoiler alert, none of those guys were even on the game. Okay? 90, because, you know, it wasn't last names, it was numbers.
Right.
97 wasn't even in the starting lineup. All right? It was like 75 and 83 at playing defensive end. Makes no sense whatsoever, but it kind of went to show you, like, yeah, EA Sports people are like, yeah, no one cares about No one cares about Murray State
I think
football.
the intern put together Murray State's roster.
Of course. Like, they're going to focus on the USCs, and they're going to focus on the Georgias and the SEC schools. No one cares about except the people at Murray State.
10-person staff to make sure the pixels on Tim Tebow matched perfectly, whereas one intern got like 10 FCS schools.
Well, and then just the blatant disrespect when I got to the NFL.
Unbelievable.
And I got to Madden. And once again, I don't play Madden, so I really didn't care at that time. I was like, all right, cool, I'm in a video game, don't really care. But of course, I was intrigued.
I mean, I
bought the game.
Cool. Yeah.
I bought the game. Well, here's Austin Lane looking a little paler than usual.
No, boy.
Rocking that Milk of Magnesia skin. I mean, didn't even have dreads. Just, had a straight up buzz cut. I was like,
they saw Wisconsin. They're like, yeah, let's just throw him in there.
Let's just go ahead and put him in the random Wisconsin generator and see what comes out. But eventually, they ended up getting my hair right and stuff. I don't think they ever got the tattoos, if I'm not mistaken. But
you gotta get big boy in there.
I know. Get the big boy tattoo in there.
Pete's sake.
Yeah. But once again, we're getting a little sidetracked here. Stuart, I asked you a question.
It's what we do when I fill in.
It is what we do.
It's a well-known fact.
I asked you a question before we went to break. I kind of shared my 2 cents worth of if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars and I'm Dave Caldwell, I'm Doug Marrone, I'm playing for right now. I don't have time to worry about the future. Now, one would think that if you build for the present, well, then the future will benefit from that. So if I'm the Jaguars organization, assuming that you can keep Jan, assuming Gardner Minshew is the guy going forward, well, then I'm targeting 2 positions, and that's defensive tackle and that's wide receiver. What are you targeting?
Those are 2 certainly very important positions, and positions that are of need, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think a big one for me, and I don't know if you're getting them in the first round or if you're waiting till the second round, I think it's linebacker. I think that is such a huge, I mean, you look at how it all transpired by the end of the year to where we had guys out there that were just, you're like, what? Who?
Sure.
Austin who? You know, I know an Austin, but that's not their one.
Well, plus it was Ian, so it's
that's right.
It's whatever,
yeah,
right?
You know, it's the weird way.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyhow, no disrespect to Austin Calitro, you did your best.
Oh no, for sure.
But the point being is that like the linebacker core was severely depleted by the end of the year, and you knew it was going to be an issue when they made, I don't know if you want to call it I wouldn't say a panic pick, but a pick of need getting Quincy Williams last year, because they kind of knew, hey, we really, really need to adjust this in case some things that we expect to transpire. And such things happen. I mean, obviously, Telvin didn't play the entire year, and it put the team in a bind, and it all kind of went downhill from there. So I think linebacker is a very important position to address in this draft. You can address it in a few different ways, whether it be a middle linebacker and move Miles outside, which you know he has said that he doesn't.
I feel about that.
He has said that he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah,
as Miles, but it's not really up to him.
Well, and Todd Wash even said that Miles Jack is a middle linebacker. So
correct.
Take it for how you want there.
Yep.
Go on.
Yes, correct. And then I think another very important position is that offensive line. And I know we've said that we like these guys. We like. You know, the possibilities and what they can do moving forward. I just think when you have Cam Robinson and what he's gone through with that ACL injury, I think you need to be ready. You need to have another guy ready to go in case he doesn't ever get back to that full form that he had in that first year.
And listen, especially now in 2020, we are in now. That is the year that we are currently
2020.
in. Hello. We talk about, well, he's a left tackle, right? So there's the risk of you're going to put a rookie guy out there at left tackle and expect him to perform right away and keep Gardner Minshew afloat. But the way the NFL is ran now, Stuart, and you've seen this firsthand, I mean, to me, the right tackle is just as important as the left tackle. Now, the left tackle obviously protects the quarterback's blind side, and then that's still the big draw, and that's why the left tackles make all the big bucks. That's why Joe Thomas was so coveted even out of college, and then had one of the best left tackle careers of any offensive lineman in the entire NFL, even though he didn't play with the best quarterbacks, didn't have the best team around him. It is definitely an important position. From the Jaguars fans' perspective, from my perspective, though, especially in that first round, especially, in a top 10 and a top 20 type scenario, is that the sexy pick? And I know you're going to say it doesn't matter about if it's a sexy pick or not,
right.
But I'm saying, can a left tackle right now, can it guarantee you to win ball games?
I'd rather have that left tackle at the 20 pick than the 9 pick. I'll say that. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And the thing that sticks out to me, and one of the big detractors to Dave Caldwell, is just how badly they missed on that Luke Jokel pick all those years ago. And we were kind of talking about it here in the last segment, and I never really got a chance to say it, but you talk about them getting that lifeline and that one extra year. Well, it doesn't exactly work like that when you're talking about a front office staff. The proof is in the pudding over the past however many years they've been here. And when you look at the first-round picks over all these years and what they're doing for this team, these are the guys you can't miss on. And they've missed on nearly every single one of the first-rounders.
Yeah.
So you hate to say that the hay's already in the barn, but, I mean, you kind of look at it that way and be like, well, this is the time when all those first-rounders over that first 6 years of your tenure, those are supposed to be the cornerstones of your team right now, and none of them are here.
Speaking of guys you can't miss on.
Hey, cornerstone. We got a cornerstone.
We got a cornerstone
of the team
right here. Action News Jax, John Bachman, welcome to the studio. How are we doing today? I'm not sure what you're doing right now with that microphone.
He's trying to magically turn on the microphone that Kuz can hit a button
Kuz could
for.
turn the microphone on, it'd be fantastic.
And
we're
voila.
still waiting.
Yep. You can hit the on button there in front of you there,
and there's going to be a delay game.
It's down there.
Here comes the penalty flag. No, we cannot. The red light is
there. Red light.
Hey,
Red
Kuz is back. Kuz is back.
He's booking Bonnaroo tickets back
Was he
there,
on what was he doing over there? Man, I was making a fool out of myself for at least 10 seconds for the folks watching on camera.
I didn't know what was going on.
I was trying to magically turn on my microphone. Wow.
Well, we have you now.
Welcome Hi, guys. It's good to be here.
Yes.
How you guys doing? All right?
Oh, yeah.
Doing fantastic. Just,
fantastic.
You know us just talking about some draft talk over about 5-6 months away from it.
I mean, that's what we do in Jacksonville, isn't it?
Well, John, let's be honest. We don't have a new coach coming in to get us excited. You don't have a new GM coming in to get us excited.
Yeah.
You don't have any big free agent signings
we
quite
do have
yet.
2 first-round picks, though.
You got 2 first-round picks, but I tell you what we got. What else we got? We got Gardner Minshew to get us excited.
We have listen, that RV video, everybody's seen it 100 times by now, and I'm telling you what, if that doesn't make you want him to be our quarterback for decades plus, I mean, the guy he's already a legend.
Yeah.
He is a legend in Jacksonville already, and he's been here a season. I don't know what the future holds. I just hope he's able to keep playing like he's played, and we can keep riding the Minshew train.
John, let me ask you this question.
Because it's a crazy train.
Well, it's definitely a crazy train. Yeah. It's definitely a crazy train. Let me ask you this question, though, John. And then let's be honest. We're talking about NFL fans.
Right.
The fandom, there's always some haters around.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
There's going to be haters in every single team.
Sure.
And there may be a couple of haters that want to say, well, he shouldn't be in the RV traveling the countryside. He should be locked in his playbook, practicing with his team and stuff like that, especially a rookie going into a second season, kind of being anointed the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
From your perspective, and I wouldn't necessarily call you like the diehard Jags fan because you're also a Vikings fan.
That's true.
But you know football and everything. From your perspective, does even an inkling of it bother you that he's doing this, or would you rather see him stay home at home base and study?
Not an inkling bothers me of this. Now,
I love it.
I can understand why people would say that, especially when your team is the Jags and we've struggled through this for so many years.
Yeah.
I totally get that, and I am 100% on board with that. However, these guys are like the rest of us. They need a week off. I am better after a week of vacation doing my job than I am a week before.
Yeah.
So
that's why Brent's on vacation right now.
Brent rarely takes vacation, by the way. So he needs to get away.
Oh, he's got a doozy planned for this summer. So
yeah, well, that's true, but still,
like 9
nonetheless,
weeks long, he'll be gone.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
My point is, look, do I want him on the RV all for like the next month and a half? No. He said, I think he's doing it for a week, right?
I think it's a little longer than that.
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
I
think he's doing it up until the Super Bowl because then he has Super Bowl obligations or something like that.
So he's going to be doing it for a couple weeks then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give him a couple weeks. Now, if it goes on past a couple weeks, then maybe I would start having concerns because it's time to, it's a grueling season. Obviously, you're all in. Now you've got a couple weeks to just decompress, and then once you do that, now I expect you to be all in again.
Well, and here's the biggest thing, John. And it's something I want to drive this point home. The life of an NFL player, it's exhausting. It's obviously physical. It takes a toll on your body, but also the mental aspect, especially from the quarterback position.
It's exhausting talking about them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm exhausted right now. It's a lot to handle. And, if you want to compare yourself to Tom Lazinski, who's one of the best strength coaches for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's kind of world renowned now. Like, everyone respects that dude. He's been with the Jaguars for a while. There's a reason why he's been there, is because he's good at his job. And after every single season, we have our exit interviews with the coaches, with the GM, with Dave Caldwell. Hopefully you're still on the team if you meet with him. But then you also meet with Tom Lazinski, Milo. And Milo tells it to you straight. He's like, hey, what are your plans off season? Yeah, I might do a little family vacation here or there. He's like, all right, great. Well, you're off for a month. I don't want you lifting weights. I don't want you touching weights. I don't want you doing sprints. I don't want you on a treadmill. You have the entire month off. Obviously, eat smart, but and be healthy. But for the most part, just enjoy your time off. And that's how every single exit interview goes, because you have to let your body recover. You have to let your mind recover. So I think this is fantastic what Gardner Minshew is doing. Either he's in an RV across the country, or he's at home maybe playing video games, going out to the bars at night. It doesn't really matter.
Trip to Europe, whatever the thing might be, but it's going to be something.
Time off.
Yeah,
exactly. And
now,
every NFL player does that. So
the only thing I would say is I'm not sure how healthy he'll be eating in an RV for 2 weeks. Within reason.
You bring a nutritionist with you, and you bring your wide receivers, and you got Road Rules Jaguars edition.
Oh, I like
now
that.
See, this could be something for next year. Now, you see, that's planning. This was just, I get to see the sense that this was just sort of
thrown together.
It happened, and it was an opportunity. Let's do it. And I think it's great. I mean, I would have loved to have been able to do it.
Well, John,
at some point.
Last night you're on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't claim this idea, by the way.
Okay, it wasn't your idea.
Yeah.
But you tweeted me at it, and I'll be honest, I was sleeping. I think it was like 11 o'clock at night. I was definitely in bed, not on Twitter.
You weren't watching Action News Jacks at 11?
Hey,
Come
man,
on, Austin.
I DVR for the morning.
Oh,
How do you guys start my morning?
No, he doesn't.
I start my morning with a little Action News Jacks.
We have a morning show for that.
Yeah, man.
You don't need to do John Bachman.
No. So John Bachman, man. No. I'm not going to start my morning with somebody else. No offense to the great staff of Action News Jacks.
We do have one.
I need John Bachman as my vitamin B12 to get me going in the morning. So that's why I DVR it.
I love it. But you're my hype man. I like it.
Exactly, man. Just go ahead and hire me out if you want. But,
for sure.
But John brought this to my attention a little bit, and John and I are both music guys. Stuart, I'm sure you like music too.
I've heard of it, yes.
Coos, you've heard of music because you work in the music genres of the radio show with Ape and everything.
And while Brent's gone, who's the only anti-music person in the building.
So we can kind of do whatever we want here. But we kind of brought it to our attention of what would be on Gardner Minshew's RV playlist here. And John, you're a big music guy. This was your kind of idea. It wasn't your idea, but you brought it to my attention.
Yeah, definitely not my idea. Can't claim it.
So I have 10 songs here.
Okay, good.
I don't know how many songs you got. Stuart, I don't know how many songs you have.
I have one.
Okay, that's fine.
Wow. Down that, I mean, to narrow it down to one song is actually really impressive. You're either really lazy or you spent a lot of time on this.
I knew that you guys would have 10, so I just have one.
Okay,
right,
well, John, before we go to break here real quick, because hopefully you can extend us a little bit here, I want to hear your 10 songs real quick. What would be, and this isn't necessarily what's on your playlist. It could be what's on your playlist at all, but what do you think is on Gardner Minshew's playlist?
I went at it that way because I went at it from what is on Minshew Magic's playlist.
Yes.
Now, I'll be honest, I don't know the man.
Sure.
but I went with the jorts.
Yep.
Feeling.
Yeah.
So with that, I didn't even narrow it down. I just said any Leonard Skinner song in their book. Any of them.
Start.
Any of them.
Yeah. The entire catalog.
The entire catalog twice.
Little Curtis Lowe in there. Yeah. We got some good songs to pick from.
Then
now.
I said, you know what else? Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty.
Oh, I like that one.
That just had that
it's
Florida man vibe.
It's Americana right there.
Right? Then I went with the LSU, the Louisiana roots, and I went with Calling Baton Rouge.
Okay.
That was
Garth Brooks.
For Brent's going out of his chair right now.
For Brent.
Yep.
Yes. And then I went, I did actually tweet these already, but I went
Thank you,
with.
Coos, by the way, for, I know John doesn't hear it, but
yeah, what are we playing right now?
We're playing Run Down a Dream.
Yeah, we
Nice.
gotta go on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
TP,
Beautiful.
local boy. I love it.
Well done.
R.I.P. Tom Petty. Okay. And then I did tweet these yesterday, but Turn the Page by either Seeger or Metallica.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, because I can see him rocking to both versions, because I do.
Yeah, here's the real question. Which version's better?
God.
I'm putting you on the spot right now.
It depends. Can I answer it like I always answer it? It depends.
Politician.
I feel like you're kind of on the fence right now a little bit.
I am on the fence.
Okay.
It's like picking two of my, which was my favorite child. I can't pick that. But here's the deal.
You know which one.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
because Seeger.
No, not the song, the child.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Seeger, I mean, come on. It is one of the best songs of all time.
Sure.
And for a lot of reasons, it's great. But Metallica's version, there's just that little
James
edge.
Hetfield's
There's a little
growling.
edge on that thing, and it makes you a little more like, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just a little more like that. So
For sure.
I like them both. I can't pick.
Okay.
All right. And then On the Road Again by Willie.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. That's
Stand by.
like low hanging fruit.
It's a classic.
And then the only other one I picked, there's two random ones that I think you'll find a little more, well, not random. A Great Day by Travis Tritt. I had to go with one of my Travis Tritt songs.
Sun's still shining when you close your eyes.
That's right.
Yep.
You got it. That's just I could see him being a real positive kind of,
Is it just me, or does he kind of resemble like a young Travis Tritt a little bit?
I could see a little bit of that.
That like Al Borland, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like that.
Yeah.
I like
I didn't
that.
see the Al Borland comparison on Twitter.
I haven't seen it.
It was on Twitter the other day.
Nice.
Really? Oh, there's actually a comparison?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Travis, maybe not so much, but I could see a little bit of that.
All right.
Some good quality facial hair there for
I
sure.
like it.
And then finally, a little bit out of the right field on this one, but I'm going with "It's Still Rock and Roll to Me" by Billy Joel.
Okay.
Not exactly a Northeasterner kind of guy for Minshew, but there's that kind of bluesy sort of rock and roll feel to it. So
I like it.
I'm going with that. How about that? I don't know if that's 10 or not. I ran out of time.
I think that was 10.
Close
That was
enough.
Well, speaking out
Stuart's
of time,
like, spare me. I got no more time.
Well, I'm pretty sure Coos played out the outro music for us a long time ago with
I
that
think
Tom Petty song.
That was our music for the
I
segment.
gave Coos a heads up.
Oh, I got
segment
you.
music.
Okay, so do we still have some time for me to go, or do we?
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hurry up. I'll go real quick then.
And then at some point, John might mention the news.
Yeah, for
At
sure.
some point.
We're
It's
having fun
possible.
right now, right? So the song we played yesterday, John, I have to go "Slow Ride" by Foghat.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, of
that's
course.
vintage
Yeah,
Minshew.
of course.
You have to go Bob Seger.
Yes.
You do. For me personally, I'm going Night Moves.
Okay.
I like Night Moves, especially if you're driving
Hey,
at night.
if the RV is rocking, don't
That's
come
what
a
I'm
knocking.
saying, especially Minshew's personality. I'm going Night Moves all day.
I love it.
The next one's it's a little bit of a curveball, but I think
Listen
Minshew's
to
down
all.
with it. I think we're going Tupac, California Love.
Oh, nice.
Shake it. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I like that.
Yeah,
That reminds me,
Tupac.
Stoop Dogs,
Yep.
California.
Oh yeah,
I can see that one too.
Well, and it's funny because like
For the end of the
there's
trip.
the East
Yes,
Coast,
when you're
West
on-
Coast kind of thing.
Yes.
And like for me, like the East Coast is more about like getting your mind right to like go fight somebody, and the West Coast was more just like hanging back and partying, and
Catching
chilling.
some
So,
waves and-
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Fourth one. Got to go with my man, Juice Springsteen. You know
Nice.
what I'm saying? Born to Run. Get him a Born to Run.
Nice. I like that.
Yep. Next one, Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride.
Yes, yes,
Yep. I mean,
yes.
these are all go-tos. Let's be
Yeah.
honest here. Next one, Sammy Hagar, heavy metal. No,
Not Can't Drive 55.
No, see that was the obvious one.
Yes.
And like sometimes Gardner Minshew can kind of surprise you a little bit.
Yes.
Next
He
level.
can
Gets
improvise.
next
Yeah,
level
yeah.
on you.
So I'm
Sure.
going
Yes.
heavy
I
metal.
like that. I like
Okay?
that. Sammy's a good pick. I can see Minshew and Sammy.
Yeah.
coexisting. Yes.
Next one I'm going just because it's like in every single montage video of traveling, so I assume Minshew would probably use this for his Instagram stories. I'm going Home by Edward Sharper and the Magnetic Zeros. Not sure if you've ever heard that song or not.
I haven't, I don't think.
Home is Wherever I'm With You. Yeah, it's
okay.
All right,
it's a good
deep
traveling
cut.
song.
I like that. I'm going to have to go
Yeah.
look that one up.
2 more. We got Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. I'm not sure what that song is even about, but I know there's driving involved, and I feel like there's some adult situations happening in that song. I mean, dude, that song's from like my grade school years. I've never actually read the lyrics, but I feel like there's a lot of adult situations happening. John, can you back me up?
I'm joking over here.
You're killing John.
Gardner Minshew not rocking Tracy Chapman?
That is one of no, not at all.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We gotta hit him up. We gotta hit him up and find
Gardner,
out.
when you're listening to this later at a date from online, wherever you can, I'm sure there's many places. I know there are because Brent tells me every night.
Yeah.
But when Gardner's listening to this, we need to find out.
John, guess what? The next time I interview him, I'm like, all right, so that pass right there, what happened? Fantastic. Okay, so Tracy Chapman, Fast Car, your thoughts?
There you go.
Just out of the blue.
See what happens.
So you don't think he's listening to that song?
I would guess no, but I could be wrong.
Man,
I'm not.
You know Tracy Chapman, Fast Car, right?
I don't know off the top of my head. No.
Wow.
He doesn't. Stuart doesn't know, but
Car?
Stuart's not. Well, he's a little younger than we are.
All right,
older
Cruz, go ahead
than
and bring
he
that
is.
song up before we exit out here.
Wow. Okay.
And, yeah, you know this song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know the title of it.
This is oh, come on. It's not a driving song. This isn't Gardner Minshew. Are you kidding me?
Maybe if you're driving in a school zone.
This is vintage Minshew. And once again, I'm not sure what the song's about. Adult situations, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Cruz, what's the last one?
Last one.
The last one is the only good Eagles song, in my opinion, and I think it's in Gardner Minshew's opinion, too, and that's In the City.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. And this is more of me taking a stand on the Eagles.
Yes, it is.
It really is. This isn't about
that.
Gardner Minshew anymore.
That's like a
This is about
backhanded
my
compliment.
presentation.
You kind of brought him up only to shoot him down.
It's the only good Eagles song in my category and in my CD booklet, and that is In the City by the Eagles.
Wow.
No, not Hotel California. I don't like that song.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinions.
Well, speaking of opinions, you have one song.
Yeah, my one song.
Your
because,
entire playlist revolves around one song.
Well, I mean, I can give you a couple more songs if you want, but
there's a lot riding on this song.
I mean, the main song is "Riders on the Storm" by the Doors because it's gonna rain.
I'm not mad about that.
It's
though.
gonna rain at some point on that drive, and that's when you click play on that special
I
little
like
side
that.
playlist.
I like that because I can see Gardner rocking some Doors now.
It'd be great.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't hate on that one. That was a great pick.
That's a
great
really
pick,
solid pick.
And really, if you're looking to me for more songs, you just go to anything on the Forrest Gump soundtrack when he's running. You know, I mean, there's just a solid stream of beautiful songs that would work great for a road trip in an RV.
Fantastic.
When you're on I-10 headed toward Route 66.
Telling you, man, you're just
out west.
I just kept running.
Well, this has been the conclusion of our music playlist talk here on our podcast.
Tweet Austin some of your suggestions out there, folks, and you tweet me too, of course, at Bachman A and Jax. I'd love to hear it. I'm sure there's an enormous list, and I would love for Gardner to weigh in at some point. Because we're all dying to know.
Yeah.
I mean, he may throw another
What's on the
curveball.
playlist?
Maybe it's nothing but Tracy Chapman all the way out west.
I think he likes Tracy Chapman. I can't wait to get to the bottom of this one.
He's gonna throw a DaBaby in there, and everyone's gonna be so confused.
Oh, I'm gonna be so disappointed if that's the case. They're all right, actually. John, you have some news for us coming up.
I have a lot of news. That's a very difficult transition.
About DaBaby and
segue.
Tracy Chapman.
Very. Let me ease into some of the harder stuff we have today by saying somebody backed into a hotel in St. Augustine, and this is like the second or third time this has happened in a couple of weeks.
Sure.
Where they've backed into a building anyway. We don't know exactly how bad the damage is. We have a crew on the way down, so I don't know if it was really all that bad or not. But anytime you hit a building in St. Augustine, you have the potential of destroying a lot of history there, obviously. So we're checking that out. That transitions into a sadder story where late last night, a 10-year-old was killed in a bad crash on I-10. A semi-truck went the wrong way on I-10 and hit a minivan, and a 10-year-old killed. And there's going to be a vigil tonight, and this outpouring of support for the 10-year-old boy's mom at their church. So we're covering that story as well, and of course the latest on Iran and all those things. So we got a lot of stuff happening tonight. Busy day in the world of news for sure. So Action News Jax at 5 on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
John, thanks for coming and talk some music with us, man.
Hey, it was my pleasure. I could do it all the time.
Same time tomorrow?
Same time tomorrow.
Brent's going to be gone again, might as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt.
Fantastic.
I don't know if we're going to have as good a discussion tomorrow, though.
We'll see.
We'll come up with something good.
I'm gonna find out Minshew likes Tracy Chapman. That's gonna be the breaking news for tomorrow.
Homework for the next 24 hours.
That's
I love
only
it.
homework
We'll send
right
it up
there.
the grapevine.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, we're more in the sports topics. I think we've kind of wore our welcome with the music topics. Yeah, a little Tom Brady. If you're Tom Brady, where are you gonna go play football next?
Oh, good question.
We get into it on ESPN 690.
His brain is squirming like a toad.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunny, a bit on the cool side, but nice today. The afternoon high in the mid-60s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, your local diamond store for 39 years in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Where I'm from, marijuana is legal. Can I use it in Florida? Nah, it's illegal here. 20 grams or less is a misdemeanor, and more than 20 grams is a felony. Well, I have epilepsy. Should I try to get a medical marijuana prescription? Now that's legal, but talk to your doctor first to see if it's a qualifying condition and if medical marijuana is even right for you. I will, thanks.
As we start the new year, all of us at Diamonds Direct just want to say thank you. 2019 exceeded all of our expectations as so many people here became not just our customers, but our family. We thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust, and as we enter 2020, we reaffirm our commitment to you to provide an unparalleled shopping experience with an even larger selection, even better value, stronger warranties, but most importantly, an even stronger resolve to exceed your expectations. Diamonds Direct, the only jewelry store in America with a 60-year history in the diamond industry, worldwide connections, a vast network of diamond cutters, unsurpassed buying power, and the nation's largest and most experienced staff of true diamond experts. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a milestone in 2020, we invite you to see how this remarkable combination can benefit you. Diamonds Direct wants 2020 to be your year, filled with optimism, dreams, accomplishments, and most importantly, love. Get store hours and directions and shop anytime at diamondsdirect.com.
Need your carpets and tiles looking great for the special holiday party? Give Zero Res a call. Zero Res technicians are cleaning freaks. Google it and read over 2,500 5-star reviews. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Fact: about half of all men will experience ED or PE. Fact: both ED and PE are highly treatable. Fact: a safe, effective treatment is just a call away. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our highly skilled doctors guarantee results on your first visit, or there's no charge. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rabinsky. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, the treatments at Prime Men's Medical Center work immediately, regardless of your age or medical history. You'll receive custom blended medications designed just for you. They're safe and effective with no pain and no surgery. Patients are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, the treatments are affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom, schedule a private consultation with the experienced physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update. I'm Jake Mitchell. Although he has made no official statement, Tom Brady appears to be coming back next season after an Instagram post where he said, quote, "In both life and football, failure is inevitable. You don't always win. You can, however, learn from that failure, pick yourself up with great enthusiasm, place yourself in the arena again. And that's right where you will find me, because I know I still have more to prove." And in the burgeoning XFL, the XFL rules have been unveiled for its second inaugural season. Here's league commissioner and father of Andrew, Oliver Luck.
So as we put our rule book together, we were trying to really do one thing, which was to create the platform for a fast-paced, up-tempo game. That's what fans told us they wanted.
Stay connected with ESPN 690 while you're at work by listening on ESPN690.com. Best kept secret in tires is TireOutlet.com. Tire Outlet offers wholesale prices with premium service, and TireOutlet.com always has a safety-first focus with locations throughout the First Coast. There's no reason to go anywhere else for tires and service.
The College Football Playoff National Championship. The defending national champion Clemson Tigers head to New Orleans to face the #1 ranked LSU Tigers. Coverage begins Monday at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jag.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Certainly, Tom's an iconic figure in this organization, and nobody respects Tom more than I do. I respect all the other players and all the other coaches in this organization too. And so, I think that everybody that is part of it is an important part of it, and I want to, give the proper attention and communication and detail and thought into my input into those decisions. But any decisions made is, it's not an individual decision. There are other people involved, and so there has to be some type of communication, understanding, agreement, whatever you want to call it.
Did Bill Belichick actually say anything right there? I heard his voice for a solid 20 seconds. So just it sounds like Muppets to me.
That's pretty standard Bill Belichick
It is.
speak,
Oh,
though,
yeah,
right?
no,
This is nothing new.
That's
nothing breaking.
That's what he does.
Yep.
Of course, we teased a little Tom Brady discussion. Before we get into that, do want to mention somebody on one of the video feeds. Kuz, what video feed were they watching that they popped in with that comment?
Facebook
feed. So was wondering, what are these tickets that Stewart's holding? Well, you'll be happy to know that the ESPN 690 one-year anniversary show is right around the corner. It's coming up on January 17th, and it's going to be live in the Cox Media Group Performance Studio, which is a little bigger than the tiny room you see us in right now. So we're actually going to have a studio audience. Mm-hmm. We're going to have food, prizes, all sorts of fun surprises and good stuff for the fans. And this is just a giant stack of tickets.
Yep.
Everyone likes tickets.
Basically, what it's going to be is come watch Brent and I watch you have the time of your lives while we do the show.
I think I'm going to take the day off just so I could sit in the stands with them and enjoy the food and drink and frivolity.
Yeah, there's going to be, that's a good word. There's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be mascots available. I got the okay that I guess some kids can come. So kids are invited. If you want to get a picture with the mascot, you have to have a ticket though, obviously.
Sure.
We don't just let in anybody. But it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a live show. We're gonna play some games, meet some of the fans. So it should be a pretty cool scene happening here at ESPN 690 Studios.
A little something different. I
like
like it.
A little something different. And we also got some pretty good response too on my Twitter about what would be on Gardner Minshew's playlist. Duval Kid comes out with Allman Brothers. Yes, The Doors. Stuart.
Yep, no doubt.
Props to you. Outlaws and Steely Dan. Truth be told, Steely Dan, Reeling in the Years was my 11th song that I had on that list.
Okay.
Only because
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention because Jimmy Page, the great Jimmy Page, said that lick from Reeling in the Years is one of his very favorite guitar licks of all time. So props to Steely Dan.
Yeah.
So now we're going to shift topics a little bit.
I didn't have a segue. I don't know.
You don't know who Steely Dan is, do you?
I do know Steely Dan.
Name one song from them.
The one you just said.
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay, hey, you don't have to lie to try to impress me.
I know who Steely Dan is, but I don't know the name of the songs.
If you can't sing me a Steely Dan song, it's okay, man. I don't think anything differently of you.
Look, I don't know names of musicians. Mm-hmm. I know what music is, though. And I know what good music is.
Good.
I've heard of Steely Dan.
Is Steely Dan good music, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay, I like it. Then
does that work?
That works.
Are we good? Like, Brent wouldn't even know who that is.
No, I understand.
He might. See, like, there you go.
This isn't ruining the years, but it's not bad. Yep. Not bad.
It's like Kuz works at our music station or something.
No kidding,
I don't know.
man.
It's crazy how that works.
But Stuart, before we went to break, you actually brought up this guy that's all around
just some quarterback,
the media. This quarterback here living the best of lives, let's just say. And that guy is Tom Brady. And what did you ask? Did you ask a question about Tom Brady or not?
I mean, I think we just kind of brought it up as a tease.
Okay.
To say, what's he doing?
Yeah.
What is Tom doing? What's thinking? What is Tom thinking? What's going through his mind right now?
Well, and here's the cool part of the show. We can actually put ourselves in Tom Brady's shoes. You know?
Would they be lacrosse shoes or...
No,
football shoes.
They would be Under Armour shoes. I assume. I think he's still with Under Armour. So they'd be Under Armour cleats. You would wake up next to Giselle every single day. You'd probably eat a lot of avocado ice cream. I'm not sure if you do carbs or not. I'm not sure if you even do sugar or not. That sounds a little miserable.
That sounds awful.
But you know what? You wake up a Super Bowl champion. 6-time.
Yeah, I guess.
6-time.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion. So from that perspective.
When he retires, does he move to other ice creams, or does he stick with this regimen, you think?
You know, it's hard to say, Stuart, because I've never had avocado ice cream.
It's
so
just, if
it's good, then I'm sticking with it.
avocados.
Yeah, sure.
I like ice cream.
Sure.
But I don't know if I'd like them together.
Do you like your avocados cold? Like, have you ever had like guac that's cold?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I've had it cold. I'm more of a room temperature guy myself.
It has been a solid 12 hours since I've had guacamole. So I mean, it's really hard to come up with these. No, we had it yesterday.
Okay,
it's good.
But from the perspective of Tom Brady, and a guy who is accustomed to winning, a guy who has helped mold the Patriots into the dynasty that they are today. Assuming that you don't want to come back to New England, which I think it's a big assumption, obviously, but if you're Tom Brady, do you go back to New England?
Yes.
Do you want to go someplace else? What is the best fit for you right now if you are Tom Brady, Stuart Weber?
I think it has to be New England. It's just, and I know that so many great quarterbacks and players for that matter over the years have, made these Hall of Fame careers, and obviously he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, have had these careers and then gone off and went off into the sunset with that 1 year somewhere else, and that, in a uniform you would never expect to see them in kind of deal.
For sure.
But I feel like if you have the opportunity to not do that, why wouldn't you just do, you say, hey, this is it. This is the one more year with the Patriots. You let the Patriots come up with your succession plan, your backup guy, the guy who you're going to groom to be your next guy. Problem is that they keep picking so late in the draft that it can't get that guy, or they keep him too long and Brady keeps playing that they have to trade him away. Garoppolo,
Jimmy G,
Brissett, all these different guys over the years. I just think that you're not going to find a head coach that you work as well with and a community that is going to revere you. Now, granted, any community you go to is going to just be over the moon about Tom Brady coming to play for their team and be their savior and all that. But I just don't feel like there's a better situation for him than New England.
It's funny because when you talk about situations, well, yes, the culture, obviously, nothing beats the Patriots. The head coaching, nothing beats the Patriots. I think the ownership, Robert Kraft, Tom Brady, they have a fantastic relationship. So nothing beats that. So those three things right there would be all, pros for Tom Brady to stay.
Yep.
And if I'm Tom Brady, I seriously consider that. But let's just have some fun and say, you know what? I'm Tom Brady, and I'm sick and tired of people comparing me to Bill Belichick, saying that we don't have the championships without Bill Belichick. Yes, I am Tom Brady. I am the leader of the Patriots. But let's be honest, when he goes into Canton, when he's talked about in the scriptures of NFL history, Bill Belichick will always be next to him, okay? And I think from an ego perspective, which Tom Brady definitely has, I think from that perspective, one would think, well, does he want to be associated with Belichick his entire career? Does he want to branch out, prove the haters wrong, and say, you know what? I can win anywhere. I'm that good of a quarterback. I can win without Belichick. I'm the reason why the Patriots won so much. I don't know if he thinks like that or not. I think it's intriguing to him, right? I think it's intriguing to anybody at that position, the quarterback position. So if I'm Tom Brady and I'm analyzing my options, like I said, the culture's in place, coach is in place, the owner's definitely in place, cool. But do you have the talent around you to be great? Because at the end of the day, the coaches can't play for you. The culture can't even play for you. Now, the culture can implement how good a team can be, but the culture can't play for you. The owner obviously can't play for you. The only guys that have your back on the field are your teammates. And we saw this year Tom Brady regress a little bit because, number one, the receiving core was banged up pretty much the entire season. Number two, you didn't have Gronk at the tight end position. Even last year when he was on the back nine of his career, teams still had the game plan for him. It still opened a lot of things up. And they go after Benjamin Watson, and that didn't pay out for them. And then number three, the running game was not there either. And I was intrigued this year by the Patriots. I had them going to the Super Bowl. I had them losing to the Saints. That really panned out well for me. But I was so intrigued this year by the Patriots because I felt like they had a guy in Sony Michel who was going to be the game changer in the run game.
Yeah.
They're going to be a run-first team, open the play action up, and that's where Tom Brady can beat you. That wasn't that, though. They couldn't run the ball that well. James White comes in. They throw the balls to him. They throw the balls to Julian Edelman. But Tom Brady had nothing around him. So if I'm
nothing around him, but he still threw for 4,000 yards.
Sure, but
24-8.
Yeah, but it's evident though. Watch any game like they're bleeding right now, and I get it. Their first round pick Harry out of Arizona State, he was banged up this year. One would think he's gonna have a better season next year. But if I'm Tom Brady, I don't have a lot of time to wait and develop players. I have to win right now with the talent that's around me. So if I'm looking at the talent that's around me at the offensive side of the ball, really there's 5 teams to me that I would consider going to try to make another run at a Super Bowl and to try to prove to people that I'm the reason why the Patriots are so good, not Bill Belichick. And those teams are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, the Chargers, and maybe the Denver Broncos. But that's more of a Peyton Manning thing, right?
I hate that 2 of those are in our division.
I know, exactly, right? That'll break your heart real quick. Yeah. But I honestly think if I'm Tom Brady and I'm weighing my options of those teams that I just named, I'm looking at L.A. I'm looking at L.A. very hard, the Chargers. Think about this, Stuart.
Depending on what they do with Phillip Rivers.
Well, think about this.
Yeah.
They're opening up a new stadium, right? They're getting this new state-of-the-art thing in California, this new stadium. Hopefully they're going to sell it out. There's a lot of hype around that, okay? Number 2, you got an offense that's very dynamic. You have Austin Eckler, who is, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in the league. You have maybe Melvin Gordon, but even if you lose Melvin Gordon, I think Eckler is going to be serviceable at the very least.
Especially as a quarterback that likes to use the running back in the passing game.
Of course.
Yeah.
You have Hunter Henry, who I think will be a free agent, but they could bring him back on as well. And guess what? Tom Brady, he loves his big tight ends. Man, does he love his big tight ends. You have Keenan Allen, who's like that slot guy who can do kind of the jack of all trades, a la Julian Edelman. And last but not least, you got Mike Williams, who can take the absolute top off, which was missing this year from the Patriots roster. You didn't really have a guy like Chris Hogan where he could go deep, where he can make defenses play honest. No, defenses played up on the receivers. Guys can get open. Tom Brady's not mobile. You get sacked. Thanks for playing. So I think from that perspective, and I get it, the Titans are intriguing. The running game, obviously, Colts are very intriguing with their offensive line. But I think they're the team that's ready to go right now for Tom Brady. That would be, the team that he could kind of usher in to a new era, if you will, the Chargers.
It would be interesting to see, but I still feel like they'd find a way to lose those games that they always do every year.
Well, I'm sure injuries would take part, right?
I'm sure. Yeah, they do every year.
Hey, and you want to talk about curses? If you're Tom Brady, you go to the Chargers, you got to worry about getting cursed there too, because it seems like they're top talent.
If you get cursed, you're done. You just end your career because you're already at that point anyway.
Sure.
So it's not like he's worried about multiple years. I just don't feel like. A lot of the discussion is, do you want to distance yourself from Belichick? And I don't know if you do. I mean, I'm of the thought that it's okay to be in the same breath as this guy who has played such a pivotal role in your life for eternity. I got no problem with it if it's me. I mean, I think to be a part of a great duo, a great coach and quarterback duo, I think that is the epitome of what football is. It's a team sport. It's a sport about connections. It's a sport about working together. And I obviously don't know the inner motivations of a guy like Tom Brady.
Sure.
But that's kind of my thought process on it.
No, and I understand that. I really do. But we always talk about the quarterback being a double standard type of position, right? And usually when the game is won and you're at the Super Bowl, wherever you're playing, and you hoist that trophy up, usually it's the quarterback that hoists it up first, right? Because he's the leader. He's the general of the team. I can't think of too many times where a quarterback has won a Super Bowl and the immediate question is, well, that's got to do with the coach. That's all the head coach there. I mean, this is definitely
the video crews on the opposite side.
Well, say what you want about that as well. Well, but maybe he's going to see how that plays out before he makes his choice to come back or not.
Definitely got the Bengals number for years to come.
But this is definitely, it's a rare case, Stuart, where I get what you're saying, where this is a team game, right? And we see guys like with Doug Peterson, who work so close to their quarterbacks, guys like Andy Reid, guys like Sean McVay, who are kind of the future now of the NFL. And they all have something in common. They're all tied at the hip with the quarterback. Now, Bill Belichick isn't really an offensive-minded genius, right? He makes his mark more on the defensive side of the ball. But people still want to, give Bill Belichick so much credit for Tom Brady. And I just feel like if you're Tom Brady, you want to branch out a little bit and prove, like, yeah, Bill Belichick's a great coach, but guess what? This was all about me too. It's just, it's a weird predicament because, number one, we're never going to see this again. right? So this is why I selfishly want Tom Brady to stay for another 5 years in New England. I don't care if you hate the Patriots or not. And this isn't like the New York Yankees where you hate them because they kind of buy, quote unquote, buy their teams. No, this is just a team with the New England Patriots who drafts well. They bring in, good free agents, and they have the culture in place. And I want to see that as long as possible.
I'm okay with seeing a team, pick a quarterback in the 6th round and him go on to do great things. I'm all right with that.
Of course.
Are you okay with that?
I think Jacksonville Jaguars fans would shake their heads in agreement with you.
Gardner.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying in that, we're never going to see this again. We're never going to see this kind of string of success, but I think we will.
Really?
The way sports works, the way things work, it's like, okay, I'm never going to see another guy win 7 NASCAR championships. All right, well, then we saw another guy do it in Dale. Then we saw another guy do it in Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm never going to see another guy win da-da-da-da-da. And then it happens. And you're in marvels of, oh, look at what LeBron James is doing. We're never going to see that again. Well, we probably are. And that's the great thing about sports is that, there is always the possibility of it happening again.
No, for sure.
As bizarre and as crazy as it seems, DiMaggio's streak will probably get broken one day. 56 games with a hit in a row. It's probably going to get broken one day.
Yeah.
I know it's probably one of those top ones of a streak that's never going to get broken, but it's sports. It is. And so, yes, I think we might see this again one day.
Interesting.
I'm just going to put that out. I hope we do.
Well, of course. It makes for a great storyline.
And I hope we're alive long enough to see it.
Well, that's my next question. Do we see it in our lifetime?
That's a good question.
I'm asking you, man. You're just saying it's going to happen again.
Well, I just feel like
in our lifetime.
I feel like the guy who wins Super Bowl 195 is going to win the next 7 after that, too.
Okay.
It's going to have a good streak going. They're going to take down the robot team from the new continent, and it's all going to be good.
Listen, I'm
get getting abstract on you.
You're getting a little abstract, but and this is where I disagree with you, man. And the reason I disagree with you because the way I look at the NFL, it's this entity that's always evolving and it's always changing.
Is the NFL around in 100 years? You think?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not gonna be around, so why would I care?
I mean,
my son can enjoy it.
Yeah, for your grandkids.
Yeah, I hope so. And if not, it's all good, dude. I'll be long gone. But when I'm talking about the future of the NFL and like what we've seen, the Patriots have always been able to do their own thing with with the franchise when the world around them is revolving. All right, it's always adapting and it's always changing. But the Patriots have always been kind of stuck in their ways of how they go about things, whether it's game planning, whether it's cheating, you can say that, but whether it's game planning, whether it's their defense, like, yes, they adapt here and there, but they always have the same fundamental building blocks. Well, teams every single year, they have new philosophies, they have new schemes, they have new calls, and it's a copycat league. Well, no one's been able to copycat the New England Patriots because they're just the outlier. And I have a hard time believing, especially now with the analytics, with your ability to have all this information at your fingertips, where a team is going to be so successful where they can just crank out, 10 Super Bowl appearances in a couple decades. I cannot see that happening because with the implementation of the salary cap, where obviously you can't get an advantage there, with the implementation of just the constant changing schemes of teams trying to always outdo themselves, and with the implementation of the ego now of the NFL player where it's like, hey, I'm all for loyalty, but I want to make some money. And if you guys don't pay me, I'm going someplace else, right?
Yeah.
That whole thing of the hometown discount.
Trying to keep guys has become more and more difficult.
That whole thing of buying into the culture, that stuff's gone now, Stuart. It's gone. I think the Patriots are the last team to have that, right? They're taking in Randy Moss at a discount. They were taking in, just all these players at a discount.
Every wide receiver you've ever known.
Because they wanted to play Patriot football.
Yeah, with Tom Brady.
With Tom Brady, of course, but also with Bill Belichick and that culture. When that's gone, I don't see another team just being like, oh, wow, I'm a free agent. I'm a high-priced commodity. I'm taking a pay cut so I can go play for that team. I don't think we're going to see it. And if we do see it, then so be it, then I'm wrong. But I just don't see that happening, especially in my lifetime.
And so because of that, you think Tom Brady's going to try and go get one more title?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Tom Brady will try to get another title. If I'm Tom Brady, I'm meeting with Robert Kraft, I'm meeting with Belichick, and I'm like, what can we do in the draft or in free agency to secure, another run at the Super Bowl? Because I get it. It was hard to pick against Tom Brady even this during this playoff run.
You
because
said you had him going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I can't pick against Tom Brady. I never could because he always proves you wrong. Well, what happened this year? They got beat, right? And they proved a lot of people right for the first time. Well, now if you're Tom Brady, you look at, I need some more weapons. Okay, Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry. I can easily see the Patriots going after two of the best tight end free agents, getting them, and then all of a sudden, with that defense, they're back to where they should have been.
Which is one of the big reasons I think he stays there.
Yeah.
I think that they do come up with the right plan. And you talk about guys not taking hometown discounts. Well, Tom Brady is the hometown discount guy. He is no problem.
It's a good point.
He's got plenty of money. Gisele's got plenty of money.
No, exactly.
They're good.
Well, and this is a guy who's always taking the discounts. And keep in mind, whether you're a fifth grader or you're a professional athlete, going to a new city, going to a new school, going to a new team, there's an adjustment period. And it's stressful. It sucks. No one likes doing that. And Tom Brady's got something great in New England. Why wouldn't you finish up on that and just ride out into the sunset as a Patriot?
That's why I think you stay there.
More football talk when we come back on ESPN 690.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Like to put this on the poll. Better troll job to somebody's face yesterday, Ricky Gervais to Hollywood or Stephon Diggs doing the choppa in front of Sean Payton as Sean Payton, choppa with an A. That's right. It's the choppa.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stuttgarts on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Trust, tradition, and quality. A winning combination to feel good about your home. Sometimes it's just that time to replace your roof. Or maybe you need to fix your roof after a recent storm. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martin of Action Sports Jacks. And there are so many roofing companies in the area. But which one can you trust? Let me tell you about my friends at Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company. Trust a family-owned business with owners that grew up right here in Jacksonville. Talk to the owners directly. Get free estimates. And you can trust Jack C. Wilson Roofing to walk you through each step of the process. Tradition? Jack C. Wilson is a name you know. The longest-standing roofing company in Northeast Florida. They have been repairing and replacing asphalt shingle roofs since 1946. How about quality? A roof you will tell your neighbors about. Quality from start to finish, shingle by shingle. You can request a free estimate at jackcwilsonroofing.com. It's the first name in Jacksonville roofing. And make sure you let them know Brent Martineau sent you.
Hey, boss, check this out. 'Twas the week after Christmas, a scene to behold. At the do-it-yourself alarm company, what was about to unfold? So many alarms being returned in frustration by unhappy customers all across the nation. The power dome was ugly, the cords are on the floor, and no local monitoring was a problem for sure. But smart folks are out there and they shop around for the best security company that can be found. The name is Safe Touch. Security is their game. Safe Touch is the best. The others are just lame.
What are you on Safe Touch's payroll now?
What, you don't like it?
Just so I know you haven't completely lost it, tell me the Crooks are Us motto again.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah, and don't you forget it.
Sorry, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Let me guess, you already know about Beard's Diamonds and how incredible their selection and prices are. But do you know about Beard's Diamonds' history in Jacksonville? Meet Ben, second generation, and find out what Beard's is all about.
Having grown up watching my father work in the jewelry industry, both wholesale and retail,
from a reflective standpoint, have you done this at all these 3 years?
Diamonds are my passion. I look at diamonds as a commitment, a joining of two lives together.
Beard's Diamonds has been locally owned and operated for the last 39 years. And it's not your typical jewelry store. And Ben is here to explain why.
Being locally owned allows us to give you a personalized experience that other corporate jewelry stores simply cannot offer. We refuse to lose at Beard's Jewelry. We'll beat anybody's price, anywhere or anytime, and that's our promise to you.
Beard's Diamonds, your local diamond store for 39 years. In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Sometimes for inspiration, you just have to look up. For more than 60 years, the Goodyear blimp has fueled greatness on the gridiron by providing aerial coverage of some of the most legendary moments in college football history. When the Goodyear blimp rises above a stadium, it inspires players to reach higher and rise to the challenge of the game's biggest moments. Now it's your turn to go further with Goodyear. Discover tires made to rise above the rest. Learn more at Goodyear.com. Goodyear, more driven.
It's time for some straight talk. You know those football players who are all talk, no show? Well, big wireless carriers aren't much different. Well, Straight Talk Wireless doesn't give you the hype, just the savings. For just $45 a month, you'll get the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. No contract. All on the same 4G LTE networks as the big guys, but up to half the cost. Savings delivered right to your wallet. Only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Kick off the new year at Renna's Pizza. Want a fresh one? Renna's has fresh ingredients, fresh food throughout the menu, and the pizza is so fresh and so good. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. We love bringing the show to Renna's Pizza. We know we'll eat well, and we were at the Neptune Beach location recently. Perfect setting to hang out, eat, drink, and watch the games on TV. Renna's has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida, Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach. Kick off the new year at Renna's Pizza.
Small business owners, it's been a great year, and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
It's the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and it can be your home course as well. The Golf Club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210, family-owned and operated, and a fun course to play. The Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facility and player-friendly golf course design, it will be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. Become a member in 2020. For more information, call the Golf Club at Southampton at 904-287-PLAY.
Family is big around here. We're family-owned, family-operated, family-managed. And that means legacy. That means dependability. That means using Grainger. With over 1.5 million products and knowledgeable product experts, Grainger has whatever we need. And with same-day pickup and next-day delivery options, they have it whenever we need it. For over 90 years, businesses like ours have trusted Grainger. Because, like family, Grainger's got our back. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. An MRI on the back of Lakers star Anthony Davis came back clean. He will travel with the team for its upcoming road trip. He's questionable Friday night in Dallas. The health of Davis certainly on the minds of the Lakers, explains ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
There's always been a question mark about the durability of Anthony Davis, who is considered a relatively finesse superstar. And that is of concern to the Lakers because he's so instrumental defensively. He's a shot blocker. He can rebound. He can change shots defensively for the Los Angeles Lakers that make it extremely hard for the opposition.
NFL Vikings receiver Adam Thielen injured his ankle at practice today. Severity not yet known. Minnesota plays at San Francisco in this weekend's divisional round. Indians team president Chris Antonetti said he's more confident all-star shortstop Francisco Lindor will be in Cleveland's lineup to start the season after the team didn't receive a trade proposal to its liking over the past few weeks. Lindor, under contract through the 2021 season, appears little chance he'll re-sign with Cleveland.
The satisfying crunch of Nature Valley Crunchy Bars can keep your family going, which means more outside fun for you. And with whole grain oats and real delicious honey, it's really tasty too. Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy Bars.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 and ESPN690.com.
The things that are important to me were important to them, and that's really all I'm ever looking for is alignment. And the decision to leave here is a really, really hard one, and one that we take very seriously. I mean, even in talking to you now, I think my gratitude towards the people of Waco and the people of Baylor University, and I mean, just the last 3 years have been a special time in our lives, and so it was hard to say, hey, let's move and go do something new. But I certainly feel like we left the program better than we found it, and that's always my goal anywhere I've been.
I guess the rules have changed in Waco, Texas.
I should open up the segment.
What now?
No, you're good. Yeah, boo that man.
What?
Boo that man.
Why?
Boo that man for that pun. Boo that man.
Do you know how excited the marketing departments for the Panthers and, heck, the Giants are? The judge is in session.
For the media?
There's just so many
But you
good
already have
things
Aaron
you can
Judge
do.
in New York.
Okay, well,
that's overkill.
Another judge in the court. There's just so many things you can do with it.
Sure, yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, I don't think that way, but I get it.
And like Rhule with an iron fist. This is, by the way, a look
This is
into
what you dream about.
A look into the demented mind I have that just constantly thinks this way.
Was this kind of a media thing though, or not? Because if it is, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I mean, you always want to have a headline, and you want, and for us in TV, you want that coming up tease line where, you want alliteration and you want something clever and a pun.
So
I'm your guy for that, obviously.
So I'm going to be honest. I was so close to putting out this tweet, but then chose to delete it because I didn't want to offend anybody in the media.
Okay. All right.
I forgot what game this would have been, but this would have been after Gardner Minshew's second win. And my tweet was, if anybody in the newspapers or media doesn't put out Gardner wins to as the title of your paper or whatever.
Minshew wins to, yep.
Yeah, I was going to put Gardner wins to because it sounds like Minshew wins to.
Yep.
I said you're an idiot if you don't do that. But then obviously I deleted it because I don't want to call anybody an idiot. So
I don't think you would have offended anybody. I think that would have been fair game.
People get offended, man.
Well,
we had people offended yesterday because I used all caps for Brent's initial stream tweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, I don't think you would have offended anybody that matters.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of offending, I'm offended. And I check my Twitter mentions real quick.
Oh, yeah.
We have some great dialogue going on here between, Gardner Minshew's RV playlist.
Yep.
Fan with no name comes out and says, when I asked about does he listen to Tracy Chapman, his response is he also cries when it's playing, like expletive man. Not the single tear nonsense, full on, secure with himself and his emotions weeping. But the offensive one that I just can't let slide here was, how did you leave off Allman Brothers? Legit. 38 Special, also legit. 3 Doors Down, off the playlist. This is, hey, Cruz, I don't, you can't get the camera on me, I understand that, so I'm going to zoom up to the camera. No, you're not helping.
No.
Hey,
I thought you wanted music.
No, Cruz.
How can I keep it off? Because I can. And I'm gonna. Because it's 3 doors down.
Oh, Cruz is doing it to you. He's cranking it
Cruz,
up.
I'll walk out right now. Enough. I'm actually getting upset, too.
I think you should be. By the way, can we call boss Nick 3 doors down? Because I feel like he is, right? Is it 2?
Are we counting the one
down
on the wall that's adjacent to the other door?
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, he's 3 doors down from our studio.
I was a fan of the American Pie soundtrack growing up in high school.
Yeah.
But you know what? I ended up growing up.
You grew up a little, huh?
I got out of it.
Yeah.
Okay? Not balling. 3 doors down. My opinion, okay? To me, they're like the American version of Nickelback. And there I said it. People get offended if you want, but they're like Nickelback to me. Okay. Anyways, we mentioned balling a little bit.
Yeah.
Want to get some balling and falling?
Let's do that in a second, but first, Coos, how about we do a little happy hour here on a Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday.
Can't make nobody come between us. Can't make nobody come between us. Oh, cherry baby.
As the careless party now begin, see the beautiful ladies marching in. There's enough for everyone to win. We're gonna make this party the best thing happening. This is my favorite place. Nothing will replace, no.
Nothing.
Anything goes. Gangsters are rolling, half-face smiling. Heads up, think of the rhythm, what you're drinking. Anything goes. Hey.
Grab a drink, get a shot, tip your bartenders, and here comes Stockton to Malone.
Oh, I like it. A locally owned tequila right here in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. Made in Tequila, Mexico, which I've been told is also beautiful. Shipped directly to Jack's Beach. Make your own recipes with Vida de Luis Tequila, the smoothest tequila you will ever taste. For locations, recipes, and merchandise, visit vidadeluis.com and be sure to drink responsibly.
You know, it's funny when we're getting these conversations about the quarterback position and the music that they like, because whatever team I was on, it seems like the quarterback position definitely had some eclectic music tastes. One of the very first stories I ever shared in the show was David Garrard when, you know, it's my rookie year. We get in the locker room and there was some discrepancies of who had control the first day of training camp of the radio. Obviously, being the quarterback that
Signal
he was,
caller, yeah.
DG had it. But he puts on Zach Brown Band, Chicken Fried, and whether it was the defensive line, whether it was the wide receiving group, everyone was just kind of like, yeah, it ain't bad, man. Like, it's amazing how one song can kind of encapsulate a team and, like, you know, just basically be like, you know what, this isn't a bad song. We'll roll with it.
I think it's a very Jacksonville song.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, on the other hand.
Oh, boy.
So, Blaine, listen, dude, like I said, Blaine's my dude, man.
Yeah,
I enjoyed hanging out with Blaine Gabbert. I think he's a great guy. And the way it worked in the offseason for workouts is that we took turns with the music playlist, right? So, like, being the guy that I was, I always try to just, you know, play songs that people would be familiar with, depending who was lifting with me. Well, there was one time where it was Zach Miller, myself, and Blaine Gabbert, okay? And we go, Blaine, man, you're up, man, playlist. So, like, you think of a quarterback, it would be like, I don't know, top 40 obviously comes to mind, right? Maybe some kind of rap music. Blaine Gabbert puts on his playlist in the weight room, and the very first song that comes on is Slipknot.
Yeah, a little oh yeah, I like it. We're getting hard there.
Yeah, and I'm talking old school in your face, Slipknot, not like the current stuff. No, I'm talking old school Slipknot.
I saw them live back in those days.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
And I turn to Blaine and I go, excuse me?
Okay, Blaine.
And he's like, oh yeah, man, Slipknot. You're not down Slipknot? I'm like, oh no, I am. I just didn't peg you for the Slipknot type of guy. He's like, oh yeah, man, I'm all about Slipknot. I'm like, okay,
you learn new things.
Yeah. And then Zach Miller also put on the Weekend House of Balloons one time for our weight room playlist. And there's nothing more strenuous than trying to squat your max of 400 something pounds, and you have the Weekend just singing Sweet Nothings in your ear. So shout out to Zach Miller as well.
Slipknot a little better then.
Slipknot a little better, but once again, it was Blaine Gabbert, and it was kind of a wild card, right? Dude, he was Sunshine. You picture Sunshine playing Slipknot. Like kill everybody. You just didn't do that.
No, they don't match.
But here we are.
Yeah. All right, so let's ball and fall.
Go ahead, man.
We'll start with a little Ballin. For me, Bobby Rollerson, new head coach over at the Beach, Fletcher High School, hiring Bobby as its new head football coach. Of course, Kevin Brown retiring, been in the school system for over 30 years, and it's time to go enjoy more time on the beach, which I know he will. Kevin Brown retiring at Fletcher. So Bobby Rollerson, who was one of the assistants there this past year, and a lot of people in town know him. He's been the head coach at Bishop Kenny at Providence, well-known coach here in the Jacksonville circles, taken over at Fletcher High School. So congrats to Coach, and good luck moving forward. I will see you on the first day of practice. I think 4 or 5 years running now, I've gone to their midnight practice to start off the season.
That's awesome.
I will be out there again come August 1st-ish or whenever it is.
Fantastic, man.
Ballin.
My Ballin Coos. Let's go to a little bit of audio because the legend, the folk hero, he lives on.
7 seconds. Carmelo pulls up, jumper, got it.
Game-winning, guaranteed Carmelo Anthony, man. Still doing it after all these years. Is there any more of an enigma in the NBA currently or even in the past? Well, I get like Dennis Rodman and stuff like that, but like, is there any more of just a crazy enigma in the fact that he is that folk hero type than Carmelo Anthony?
It has been a wild year, just the way that whole thing is developed. And is anyone going to give him a chance? Yeah. And to still be out there playing the way he is, very impressive, Coos.
Well, without a doubt. And we're talking about Carmelo Anthony. You're talking about a guy who he's all offense, right? Like, he's not known for his defensive capabilities.
You don't need defense if you're taking the last shot in the game.
He's not really known for, his driving capabilities. This is just a spot-up shooter who demands the rock. And that type of style doesn't fit with a lot of NBA teams. But the teams that brings him on, whoever it is, it seems to work time after time after time again. And it's kind of built him up to be like this folk hero now. Kuz, can you name anybody else that's kind of gone through this whole, I guess, transition than Carmelo Anthony?
I'd say there's a player actually right now that is in the NBA. I would say Dwight Howard's going through that a little bit right now.
Did you see Dwight Howard supposed to be in the slam dunk competition this year?
That's a big part of it because, obviously Orlando Magic fans know all about Dwight Howard. He was awesome. Same with Carmelo. And then kind of took a dip and bounced around the league, never really got his vibe or found his spot. Obviously, with Dwight Howard the first time with the Lakers, didn't work. And then kind of ends up going back and showing that he still got it. Now he's like a folk hero to the Lakers fans and the Lakers team because they're performing really well this year. Same with Carmelo. I mean, he ended up in the on the Rockets last year. Some will say he kind of was the scapegoat of the team's struggle, and he's now found himself with the Portland Trailblazers, and Trailblazers team that needed a wing, needed somebody to help him in that department, needed another shooter essentially to space the floor for him, and he comes in and is performing well, and all the players obviously respect Carmelo, so that adds to it as well.
Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, but a lot of people are going to come back and claim that because he hasn't won.
That's my point.
And you look at the people in the draft class with him, they have. But I think he's still there.
Awesome.
All right, more in-depth NBA coverage on the Drive and Dish podcast. I just retweeted your tweet, Kuz, so,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, with more information on the Drive and Dish podcast, if you like the NBA, the association, as many call it.
I like it.
Kuz, all about the NBA. You can follow me on Twitter at Stewart ASJax. And heck, follow Kuz while you're there. Justin C. on the air with his fancy name.
Thanks for the shout out. Appreciate it, Stuart. Go ahead. What's your Fallin?
Hey,
you don't have to shout me out. It's all good, man.
Okay.
It's not like we're a team here or anything.
A_train_92.
Good call. There you go.
It's also on the graphic for anybody watching.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point,
the
too.
now updated graphic. I was really trying to get Kuz's out there.
Well, and also on the graphic, too, is the phone number, 904-362-9901. Feel free to call in with your Gardner Minshew playlist, talk football, or anything else out there in the sports world right now.
If anyone
we can
wants
get into
to
it.
defend Three Doors Down, Austin will fight you on the radio.
Yeah, and then I'll come find out where you live.
And then he'll fight you in real life.
I'll take you out to dinner. No, I'm just kidding. Quick, you're Fallin, Stuart, real quick here.
My Fallin real quick. College football. It's too long to wait for this national championship game. I've completely forgotten about it. Now, it might re-spark up here in the next couple of days, but I was just thinking the other day, I had completely forgotten that we still have a national championship to play.
I'm not going to lie. When I came in here on Monday, I told Kuz, should we talk about the playoff games? I assumed it was going to be that Monday. I forgot there's a week in between.
A whole extra week.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous a little bit. But, I mean, hey, it gives you time to prep so you get your best teams out there, I guess. My fall I'm going to actually hit after the break. I'm going to tease it a little bit. I'm not going to really say he's falling, but I'm going to say goodbye to a guy, and he holds a special place in my heart because he's actually the last guy I ever got in a fight with on a football field.
All right.
More of that next here on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cool tonight under mostly clear skies. Temperatures will drop to near 40 inland to the 50s at the beaches. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jack's Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, your local diamond store for 39 years in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Be bold, Jacksonville, whether you want to be cold or hot. Bold City Heating and Air will help. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. I needed a new air conditioning system this summer and called the good folks at Bold City Heating and Air. It was worth the call. A competitive price, good communication, fantastic service. A new system is a big investment. You want a good experience. My family had that at Bold City Heating and Air. You can too. They will help you design the perfect system for your home while staying within your budget. Be bold and give Bold City Heating and Air a call or visit boldcityac.com. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. My family and I invested in a Kinetico system from CGC Water a while ago, and we're so glad we did. The team at CGC Water makes it so easy to get the best quality water running through my entire home and the best tasting drinking water right at my sink. Do yourselves a favor and start the new year off right. Find out how you can get a free Kinetico A200 RO this month by calling 904-694-2424. Make sure you tell them Brent sent you and visit cgcwater.com as well, your local authorized independent Kinetico dealer.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Driving our Florida streets may be pleasant, but not always safe. A lot of drivers are not insured or do not have coverage to compensate you if you've been injured in an accident. If you've been involved in an accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville. 2020 models are on the lot at Arlington Toyota. And if you want to get behind the wheel of one today without buying, then all you need to do is rent a Toyota. Yes, rent from Arlington Toyota. Toyota Rent-A-Car is the best way to try it before you buy it. And renting from Arlington Toyota puts you behind the wheel fast and easy. So if you've got a road trip coming up, long weekend with friends, or maybe you just want to try out all the new 2020 bells and whistles, Toyota Rent-A-Car at Arlington Toyota has just what you need. With an amazing selection of 2020 Toyotas that are ready to hit the road today. Everything about renting a Toyota from Arlington Toyota is easy. They've got amazing 2020 models, simple online reservations, and their staff is always eager to help. 2020 models are ready to go, so if you've got a new 2020 ride on your mind, why not try it before you buy it with a Toyota Rent-A-Car from Arlington Toyota? Just visit arlingtontoyota.com. That's arlingtontoyota.com and get your online reservation started today.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Hey, it's Goose from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
Hi, I'm Ryan Murphy, Olympic gold medalist. You're watching Action Sports Jacks.
I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Joe Burrow's year has just been phenomenal, but I think when you're looking at all the things that the NFL looks for in a quarterback, the size, the arm strength, the athleticism, everything, they all tilt a little bit towards Trevor Lawrence's way. So as impressive as Joe Burrow has been this year, vaulting himself from probably a fourth-round draft pick all the way up to the first pick in the draft, I still, as an NFL executive, would take Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback.
Interesting. Phil Steele, college football analyst, draft analyst, giving his thoughts on who he thinks has a better pro career ahead of them, Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow. Stuart Weber here with Austin Lane, a little Action Sports Jacks Radio on ESPN 690, filling in for Brent Martineau on a little vacay off to Asheville, North Carolina. I'll be filling in today, tomorrow. Marcel Robinson coming in on Friday.
I like it.
Yeah.
Got to get done on Friday. Well, when we went to break, I teased it a little bit. Not going to leave the people hanging on. For my Fallin, once again, this is the Ballin and Fallin segment, Driving Dish Podcast. What's up? But it's not really a Fallin thing. It's more of just saying, hey, happy trails. I'll see you down the road. And this goes out to the last fight that I ever got on a practice field, and it was during a walkthrough of all things right before a game. And I'm wishing happy trails, and I'm wishing good luck to my former teammate, Bears guard Kyle Long. All right. To kind of set the scene real quick, and I've shared this story before a little bit, but we have a game the following day. So we're at a Saturday walkthrough right now. And I'm on the scout team. Kyle's on the first team. And I think I had to play it down in the 3 technique for whatever reason. They just needed bodies, whatever. I mean, I'm the scout team. You kind of go where you're asked to go. So you know how a scout team is, Stuart. Like it's not really strenuous. You just go on your gap. You let the first team guy kind of push you a little bit because they're the first team guy for a reason, and you just give the look. And I took pride in that. All right. So I give the look. Kyle comes down, pushes me a little bit. Whistle blows. Still getting pushed. I'm still getting pushed, and I'm still getting pushed. Okay, it's been 4 seconds, and I'm still getting pushed. Kyle Long, I'm not sure if Coach said something to you, but you shouldn't have to push me after the whistle. So immediately, me being me at the time, obviously I lost my temper. I lost my cool, and I go after Kyle Long. So it starts to pushing, and then it starts to, punches being thrown, which is never a smart idea to throw punches.
Now when helmets are on.
When helmets are on. But, dude, and that's the thing, too. Coaches always say, don't be an idiot. Well, Coach, I'm in a fight, man. It's human instinct. It's in our animal nature. When you get in a fight, you attack the head, whether it's with the helmet or without the helmet. So me and Kyle going back and forth. Eventually, guys got to pull us back and everything like that. My position coach, Clint Hurt, at the time was with the Seahawks, now defensive end coach, comes up to me. He's like, get your ass out of practice. You're done. So I take off my helmet and I throw it as far as I can across the field. And I'm like, I'm like a toddler at this point. I'm throwing a hissy fit. Kyle Long gets thrown out by Tressman as well. So, we're walking off the field and everything like that. I don't say anything to Kyle Long. We get to the locker room right after that. And Kyle's like, dude, that was crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, that was nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it was. I respected Kyle Long because he was trying to prove a point, right? And I wasn't going to back down. And anytime those two types of personalities can come together, you're going to have fireworks.
There's a lot of those
sometimes.
in an NFL locker room.
There absolutely is. But you know what? I'll say this about Kyle Long, man. For as good as he was, and I get it, injuries plagued his career a little bit. If you caught him outside of the facility, if you caught him without him wearing his helmet, wearing his jersey, wearing his pads, you never would have guessed, aside from his size, that he played football because he was just that cool of an individual. There's a lot more layers to Kyle Long than just football. That's why I'm not worried about him after the game because he's got so many things on his plate that he can do, man. He's going to be successful in whatever he does. But unfortunately, the injuries do happen. And unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated, and sometimes you have to walk away from the game even though you don't have the right to say, I'm done. Sometimes someone's got to tell you that you're done, and Kyle Long has took it upon himself. I don't think he's necessarily said he's going to retire, but he's taking some time off. We'll see. But I just want to say happy trails, best of luck to whatever Kyle Long does in the future, man. It was an honor and absolute privilege to play with him on the Chicago Bears. And I always say this, if I had like a starting 5 of guys that I would take with me to a dark alley to have my back, Kyle Long, without a doubt, is definitely on that list. So props to him, man.
Kuz and myself also on that list?
Props to Kyle Long, everybody.
You can run faster than me. That might be a.
I can, or Stuart can.
I said you can. That way, when we're in that alley.
Do you think I'm faster than you? Like you're just gonna come out and say it, huh?
I think.
Well, I think you are.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you're kind of selling yourself short a little bit, aren't you? Are you?
I don't really run that fast. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but you play basketball nonstop.
That's true, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're faster.
Okay, I've already established dominance on Kuz. I like it.
I know I'm faster than Kuz.
I like it, man.
I have no problem saying that. Oh yes.
So it's going to happen, I guess.
Short range and long range.
Going into this new season, I guess I have to race Marcel because Marcel thinks he's faster than the 40-yard dash.
Of course he does.
And then you and Kuz can be like the mid-card of that event that we hold.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be I'd mop up the floor with him, but that's fine.
I like it. I like it a lot. Stuart's talking some smack. Kuz, what do you got to say about that?
I don't really trust myself in running.
Hey, I'm trying to build up an event here. I'm going to need you to get a little bass in your voice and act like you can beat Stuart, okay? Don't be respectful. Be like you're going to attack him.
They call me the Usain Bolt of ESPN690. How about that?
And more of that can be heard for our press conference coming up next month as we start to hype up this 40-yard dash challenge between Action Sports Jax employees.
I do like that. I like that a lot. The 40-yard dash, by the way, going to determine a lot of futures for some college football players. I know coming into this segment, we heard from Phil Steele about Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, who obviously is not coming out this year. Jake Fromm is coming out this year. That news earlier today, the Georgia quarterback, after 3 years, saying, time for the NFL. Mm-hmm. Surprise you at all that he's not staying for another year in Athens? He thinks he's ready. He thinks it's time to go on to the NFL.
I'm not surprised, honestly. I think it's kind of like the Justin Herbert effect a little bit, where you could have made an argument last year for Justin Herbert to come out and maybe be the number one quarterback taken.
Would have done better. Yeah, would have been a better pick than
he opts to come back, another year. And what happened? I think he didn't really show any improvements, if you will. I thought he kind of plateaued a little bit. And now no one's talking about him. Let's be honest here. Everyone's talking about either Tua, obviously Jordan Burrows. So I'm not surprised at Fromm at all, honestly. The only argument you can make was the fact that, well, this quarterback class could be pretty deep. Why not wait till next year to kind of set yourself apart a little bit? But let's be honest. Burrows came out of nowhere. Nobody had Burrows going as a top player overall in the NFL draft before the college football season started. Nobody had Burrows winning the Heisman Trophy before the season started. He just came out of nowhere and he did his thing. So from Jake Fromm's perspective, I got no problem with him leaving early.
Yeah, I think it's the right move, too. DeAndre Swift, by the way, his running back, he's going. His entire offensive line, including the Reigns grad, Solomon Kinley, they're all going to the NFL. So that offense is going to have a huge makeover for next year. Now, granted, Kirby Smart's been recruiting his tail off the last few years and has 5 stars all ready to go. So we'll be interested to see. The question is, what do they do at quarterback now with Jake Fromm gone? Obviously, it would have been Justin Fields, but he left and went to Ohio State. And now is it going to be a guy from the transfer portal? Or how about an incoming freshman from Jacksonville, FLA, and Carson Beck?
Yeah.
Certainly something to keep an eye on when you're talking about the Georgia Bulldogs next season.
Well, and keep in mind, too, when you're talking about Jake Fromm here, if you compare his numbers to his freshman or even junior year, his quarterback rating, it's lower. This is the lowest that he's ever played. And one could say that he kind of maybe regressed in his junior season. But you got to keep in mind that the NFL draft, Stuart, and the scouts, what they evaluate, yes, obviously stats are important. What you put on film is important. But the quarterback position especially is where guys will go in and they'll just look at your fundamentals. They'll look at how you throw the football, your decision-making, and they'll evaluate you from there. Perfect example, Josh Allen. Josh Allen a couple years ago coming out of Wyoming. If you watched any Josh Allen games out of Wyoming, he did not knock your socks off.
Can't say I watched a lot of Wyoming.
Well, I ended up watching 2 games because they're on primetime television because it was Josh Allen. Yeah. One could say, well, he didn't have the talent around him like Jake Fromm does, but Josh Allen was that big-bodied, athletic individual who showed the arm strength. So right off the get-go, regardless of the team record, regardless of Josh Allen's stats, teams were intrigued by him. And I think Jake Fromm, obviously has better stats than Josh Allen did in college, but I think teams are also intrigued by Fromm, even though maybe he didn't have the best season his junior year.
Yeah, no doubt. I know we're kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit. I want to bounce back to the 40-yard dash because a gauntlet being thrown on Twitter here. Marcel tweeting.
Oh, did he really?
Dear A-Train, Marcel knows he'll smoke you in the Action Sports Shacks 40-yard dash. Line it up.
Words. Just, those are just words at the end of the day, right? It's cool.
Smoke was in all caps, by the way.
Oh, it was all caps? It's
and
cool.
Nose as well.
Oh, fantastic. It's cool. I can go on my cell phone. I can type words. I can use caps. I can do all that. But you know what? Actions speak louder than words, my friend. I don't got to come out in here and say that I've probably gotten 5-6 tenths faster since I've dropped about 40 pounds since playing football. I don't got to tell you that, but I'm gonna. And I'm going to send fear down Marcel's spine a little bit because you know why? I have actions. I don't need to go on Twitter with these cheap laughs, with these cheap plugs. No. Just come meet me in the parking lot whenever. Don't do it today because I have to go train for MMA in about 30 minutes. Don't do it tomorrow because I have to do the same thing, Marcel. But let's do it soon, man. Let's get it going.
He's at a golf event right now. Players champion Rory McIlroy in town. We'll hear from him a little bit later on tonight on Action Sports Shacks to plug the TV side.
So essentially, he's trying to talk tough with his shirt tucked in right now. That's what Marcel's doing.
His shirt might be tucked in. He is
I'm sure it is.
TPC Sawgrass.
I'm sure it is.
You got to look nice over there.
You can't talk tough with your shirt tucked in, Marcel. Enough said.
That's strong words.
Write that down.
I'm not going to, but I've mentally written it down inside my head.
Fair enough.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
I see Coos is writing it down right now on a piece of paper. Look at that.
He should be.
You want to take another quick break before we get to Calais, or you want to do that now, Coos? What do you think?
Let's run into Calais.
Yeah, let's go right there.
Set it up, Stuart.
Let's do it. All right, so we had this great sit-down conversation with Calais Campbell, the captain, the defensive leader of this Jacksonville Jaguars team, and really a guy that provided some great insight on so many different topics, which, by the way, you can listen to the entire 28-minute interview on our Action Sports Jacks on ESPN690 YouTube page. It's also on the Action Sports Jacks Facebook page. But we've been showing little clips and bits and pieces from that interview with Brent Martineau and Calais Campbell. And we continue that conversation today as we hear a little bit more from the big man, number 93.
From a reflective standpoint, have you done this at all these 3 years? From a reflective standpoint, have you done this at all these 3 years? Signing of this deal to come into Jacksonville. You were an Arizona guy before that. I mean, was it the right decision? Where does it rank in terms of this experience so far? I'm not going to get you out of here yet, but so far these 3 years in your life, career, all those things.
Yeah. So I reflect every year. I feel like that's important for growth, is to reflect. And after my first year, I think it was a no-brainer. Everybody was like, "Oh man, you're a genius," And I had a lot of people trying to talk me out of coming to Jacksonville. A lot of people were like, "This is a bad move. You should not go here." And then after that first year, it's like, "Oh well, put my foot in my mouth. You're definitely a lot wiser than I am in this. Good job." And then last year happened, and it was a bad year. And they're like, "Well, you start looking at you again, like, well, maybe it was as good, a choice, But for me, from my individual standpoint, what I thought could happen, what I saw, I experienced, and so I was very, very productive, very successful. My decision to come here, I think it was a great move. I had opportunities to go to some other teams that are also going through some growing pains and changes, and I feel like this was the best move for me that I had available to me. And the city has welcomed me, showed me so much love, and I was just like, wow, okay, this is nice to be, appreciated, like, from the fan base, being involved in the community. This is a community I feel like, they have a lot of people I want to help, so I've been able to get in the community and kind of leave my mark there. And then on the football field, with this young group of talent, I know forever, that, Unique Ngakoue, we're going to have a relationship for life, and no matter what happens in his career, that's my brother, and I was able to impact his life. Miles Jack, I was able to impact his life. A lot of other guys too, where I can make a difference, and that was important to me. I really take pride in trying to, share knowledge and help the young guys. And then also my individual success. I've been to 3 straight Pro Bowls. That's a good feeling. Come here and know that, okay, like if I go there, I know I can play well in that system, and to get rewarded for the Pro Bowls and stuff like that. It's a good feeling. I feel like it was a great choice. I don't know the other places I had an opportunity to go into if it would have been the same. If I would have had the same kind of success, I don't know. But I do know that I'm really happy with the decision I made to come here, and I hope it's not over. I really hope I get to play here, for at least another year. But who knows? This is, I like it here a lot.
I know it's bigger than football for you, and I know you've impacted Denver, your home area, Arizona, obviously, for a long time as well. But that kind of Larry Fitzgerald's or the Carson Palmers throughout the year, I'm not sure that ever felt like it was your city, your team. You walk out of here yesterday after the game, and that crowd to greet you as you were going to your car. We see it every week on the TV show at Mellow Mushroom. The way people really feel you in this town. It's got to have that difference for you, right? You almost feel like you're the guy here. This is your team. This is your city. I know you're the mayor of Saxonville, but am I right on that? Does it feel that way to you? Maybe even more so than all those times in Arizona, the years you spent there?
Well, and I did get love in Arizona. I have, all kinds of love, and, that fan base was very good to me. Larry Fitzgerald is the man, though, and it's just incredible to see that kind of love. And he deserves it. He's incredible legend. He's a guy who showed me how to do it. Obviously we're all influenced by a young age. And I come into the NFL and I have all these dreams and aspirations, and I don't know what to do. I'm hopeful, and I see a guy who's doing it the right way, and it's like, okay, let me emulate him. And he's really been a big influence in my life, and coming to Jacksonville and to get that Larry Fitzgerald type love here, it's been a true blessing. It feels good, obviously, I would be the same if I didn't get the love at all. I just love playing the game of football. I love the platform it gives us. I love this is an incredible job. This is really not a job, but it is, and it's a dream come true. Since I was a kid, this is all I ever wanted to do. I wanted to be in the NFL. I wanted to be able to play at the highest level, and make a difference and be a difference maker, and just, and be able to affect communities. It's a good feeling. And so the way just Jacksonville accepted me, and obviously you have to play well for, they're not going to just love you if you don't play well. This is, they want to see success, but at the same time, though, you could tell, like, so many fans tell me all the time, it's like, I love what you do on the football field, but I just love who you are as a person. And it's like, man, I just try to be myself and be the best version of myself, and be authentic and give, and give as much as I can to the people. And it's nice to be appreciated for it.
I know your family's proud of that, but Dad would certainly be proud of all that, right?
Yeah, my dad definitely is, probably my biggest motivation, for this game of football and really for life. I feel like I've been very blessed to have had incredible dad for 17 years of my life, but him passing away at 17, it's hard, it's hard for any kid, who has such a tough, such a strong relationship, with his father, for that to be, kind of, taken away from you in a sense, but he did such an incredible job of living me with knowledge and understanding and just a way of life. That his legacy is strong. I am his legacy. My brothers, my family, we are his legacy. And so, I started my foundation after the name after him because I wanted people to know who he is. And obviously he had flaws like any other man, but he was a man of principles and a man of integrity. And I'm just proud that knowing that I know in my heart that he'll be proud of me. The man I've become and just what I stand for. And that means a lot to me. And the rest of my life, I'm going to try to make my dad proud,
Do they keep him for that last year on the contract, that $15 million? Certainly something we will keep an eye on. Time to take one last break here on Action Sports Jax Radio on ESPN 690. When we get back, we're going to wrap things up here on a Wednesday. Stay with us. You never know what could be next. We could talk more smack talk about the 40-yard dash. The gauntlet being laid down. Marcel Robinson, Austin Lane, pay-per-view. Get ready. Going to be a lot of fun whenever it maybe ever possibly happens. More on that coming up next right here on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. Although he has made no official statement, Tom Brady appears to be coming back next season after an Instagram post where he said, quote, "In both life and football, failure is inevitable. You don't always win. You can, however, learn from that failure, pick yourself up with great enthusiasm, place yourself in the arena again. And that's right where you will find me, because I know I still have more to prove." And in the burgeoning XFL, the XFL rules have been unveiled for its second inaugural season. Here's league commissioner and father of Andrew, Oliver Luck.
So as we put our rule book together, we were trying to really do one thing, which was to create the platform for a fast-paced, up-tempo game. That's what fans told us they wanted.
Stay connected with ESPN 690 while you're at work by listening on ESPN690.com. Best kept secret in tires is TireOutlet.com. Tire Outlet offers wholesale prices with premium service, and TireOutlet.com always has a safety-first focus with locations throughout the First Coast. There's no reason to go anywhere else for tires and service.
As we start the new year, all of us at Diamonds Direct just want to say thank you. 2019 exceeded all of our expectations as so many people here became not just our customers, but our family. We thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust, and as we enter 2020, we reaffirm our commitment to you to provide an unparalleled shopping experience with an even larger selection, even better value, stronger warranties, but most importantly, an even stronger resolve to exceed your expectations. Diamonds Direct, the only jewelry store in America with a 6 60-year history in the diamond industry, worldwide connections, a vast network of diamond cutters, unsurpassed buying power, and the nation's largest and most experienced staff of true diamond experts. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a milestone in 2020, we invite you to see how this remarkable combination can benefit you. Diamonds Direct wants 2020 to be your year, filled with optimism, dreams, accomplishments, and most importantly, love. Get store hours and directions and shop anytime at diamondsdirect.com.
Small business owners, it's been a great year, and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
Over half of all men suffer from ED or PE. If you're one of them, either can be embarrassing, but they're both very treatable. Fortunately, Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. Meet Dr. Rabinski, a specialist in men's health.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications designed just for you. There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
For a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians, call Prime Men's Medical Center, 904-206-8105. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or there's no charge for your consultation. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Have you ever considered helping an aspiring small business owner through one-on-one mentoring? If so, you may be the right person to become a SCORE volunteer. Since 1964, SCORE has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually through mentoring at 7 area locations and hosts 140 workshops. Apply today by clicking on the volunteer tab at jacksonville.score.org.
Be bold, Jacksonville, whether you want to be cold or hot. Bold City Heating and Air will help. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. I needed a new air conditioning system this summer and called the good folks at Bold City Heating and Air. It was worth the call. A competitive price, good communication, fantastic service. A new system is a big investment. You want a good experience. My family had that at Bold City Heating and Air. You can too. They will help you design the perfect system for your home while staying within your budget. Be bold and give Bold City Heating and Air a call or visit boldcityac.com.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Mark Anajar from the Law Office of Anajar and Levine. Falls can be embarrassing. Your first reaction might be to get up, but always make sure to check yourself for any injuries. Examine your surroundings to see what caused you to fall. Take pictures if possible, and call the manager to make a formal report. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville.
Chub it up for the football playoffs at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey, everyone, it's Brent Martineau. They are my favorite wings in town. And on New Year's Day, I got a huge order to go for the family from the Fleming Island location. We got 5 different flavors, including my favorite, the Maple Cajun. You got to try it. Drink specials, a full menu, and wings. Plus, lots of TVs for the playoffs or maybe even the upcoming McGregor fight. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings, 2 locations, the West Side and Fleming Island.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Florida. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN690.
Hi, I'm Chris Berman, and every time I come back to Jacksonville, I listen and watch Action Sports Jacks.
Wait, you broke your collarbone, Coos?
Pole vaulting, yeah.
Wow, what was your PR?
I think it was only like 10 feet or something.
That's what I got to. I got to about 10 feet my 1 year I did it.
In the pole vault?
Yeah, pole vault.
Are you guys psychopaths or what? Isn't that kind of a dangerous thing there?
It can be, but I mean, it's funny because in track and field it's the event that uses both upper and lower body. It's like most of them are one or the other. You know, you're running, it's all lower body. You're doing field events, it's mostly upper body.
Yeah.
But pole vault, you do a full sprint, and then once you plant the pole in the box and you elevate, so you elevate by jumping, and then you use your upper body.
Yeah.
So you get it's the most full body event in track and field.
Hey,
when
I watched the Olympics, I know.
I'm just saying.
Anyways.
I'm just saying. Having experienced.
See, like when we were growing up, for whatever reason, the pole vaulters, maybe it was our school just wasn't that great in that category, but they were treated as if they were like the kickers or punters of
the track and field team.
That's a bummer.
I mean, they're kind of off on their side. I still did like 4 other events though, so like that was only kind of I wasn't a specialist like maybe Coos was.
No, mine was.
No, I competed in a meet.
I
wasn't all state in any.
There's a feather in your cap.
I wasn't all county. I just showed up.
Okay. You just
track,
had fun.
My biggest track and field accomplishment is that I competed one time against Vince Wilfork in the discus.
No way.
Yeah, we were in the same discus event.
He beat you, obviously.
He threw it about 3 times as far as I did.
Yeah.
And then he threw me 3 times further. No, that was my freshman year, his senior year when he was at Santa Lucia's down in South Florida. So Vincent Wilfork, my connection to him, throwing the discus.
I like it.
Yeah, way back when.
That's crazy, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's that big back then as well.
Oh, yeah, he was huge. I was a technique guy.
My biggest track claim to fame was I ran it my senior year, got to state in the 100, 200, and the 4x2. And during my 200 event, because I was at a college, right? It was at a D3 school, and they had like the track people from the college hold the blocks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the 200 event, and there's this aesthetically pleasing, I think, a track runner that was holding my blocks.
Sure.
And instead of listening to the guy say, racers ready, racers set, my back is turned. I'm trying to hit on this girl because I'm getting ready to go to college too. I'm trying to get my reps in.
Yeah,
so I'm talking to this girl.
Fair.
Literally, like, everyone's in their stance ready, and all of a sudden you see me go, oh, dang, and like I literally go from that, go into my stance, and like just miss the fall. Like I fall started, and like I missed the complete start, and I get 7th or 8th. I get like last place because I wasn't paying attention. But it is what it is. I still had fun.
That's great.
What do you do? And the best part is my mom has that on camera actually too. So
Can we get that footage next time you go up there?
Absolutely, man.
Oh my goodness,
she still has that someplace.
We need that to be on Twitter.
Spitting my game, man. What can I say?
Oh, that's terrific. Well, talking about spitting game, we've been talking about this 40 that needs to happen between you and Marcel Robinson, and Marcel's out there just, he's replying on Twitter. He's showing pictures of himself not with a shirt tucked in.
Yep.
That he's ready to go.
Yeah. And listen, Stuart, all right, people are saying I'm ducking already, okay? There's people on the interweb saying that I'm scared.
Okay.
Not scared, all right?
I mean, Marcel Robinson is a 3-time flag football champion.
But you know what? And there's a feather in your cap, Marcel. Congratulations. I'm the thing that people are going to come want to see. I'm the Floyd Mayweather of this whole card, and I will stipulate what I want done. If it's too windy outside, if it's too slippery, I'm not running, okay? I'll tell you right now. It's got to be to my exact specifications of this 40-yard dash. Because if it's not to my liking, I'm not going to run. Just like Floyd Mayweather's not going to fight. It's not up to his standards. Do you know why? Because Floyd Mayweather's, he's earned that. Stuart, I've earned that, all right? When you look in the annals of 40-yard dash history.
Good word.
Yeah, you're going to see.
By the way, shout out to the internet.
Yep.
If anyone out there knows what I'm talking about right now.
But acting like I'm scared. Acting like I'm scared of the 40-yard dash. Acting like I didn't go to the combine in my underwear and have to run the 40-yard dash in front of everybody. Now, did I tear my hamstring after that? Yes, I absolutely did. Ran the 40 once, tore my hamstring, and the rest of my drills kind of hampered from it. But you know what? I persevered. I got through. I mean, let's be honest here. In terms of the 40-yard dash set aside from the Olympics, combine's a pretty big event, Stuart.
By the way, if the 5 of us were to run a 40 today, the 5 being you, myself, Coos, Brent, and Marcel.
Makes out alive.
Over under 2.5 hamstrings pulled.
Oh, I'm taking over all day.
Over 2.5.
Over all day, without a doubt.
Coos, what do you think? Over under 2.5?
I'm betting there's more than 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 2.5. What, like, how would half count? Like, what are we counting
I'm
with
saying
that?
like 3 people.
It has to be
pull
3.
a hamstring
Off the bone.
Yeah. Well, it can be muscle for muscle. It doesn't
I
have to
can
be
see
off the
myself
bone.
going off the bone.
It could be. I've done that. It's not fun.
I bet. Yeah. Black and blue.
Yeah, I'll give us the benefit of the doubt and go under. I think it's going to be 2.
I think 2 seems fair.
Okay.
I pulled it in college in my conditioning class at UF.
Okay.
And it was the funniest thing because
wouldn't be bragging about that, but keep going.
Well, we're doing a 4x1.
Okay.
It was part of the class. We were doing a 4x1 on the track.
So essentially, you tore it in gym class, but go on.
In college, yes.
In gym class. Tore your hamstring in gym class. Please continue the story.
In PE class, yeah. That's fine.
It's gym class, dude.
That's fine. That's
all
fine.
right.
That's
go on, though.
But it was funny because like the baseball coach offices like overlooked that track.
Sure.
And so I don't know. It was like 4 or 5 days later. I was on crutches because that thing just completely tore.
Yeah.
And so I was crutching around and I had it all wrapped up. And I was up in the press box after the baseball game, and the coach at the time, Coach Mack, was like, "Hey, are you the one who fell on the track that time?" Because I was going full speed, so I just tumbled. It was bad. And I was like, "Yep, glad you saw that, Coach." So the UF baseball coach saw me just tear my hamstring in that conditioning class.
The legend lives on of Stuart Weber.
And it continues to grow.
The legend lives on. I love it.
What a time.
I
What a
love
time
it,
to be
man.
alive.
I love it. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I've shared my story before. I took a little too much of that Jacked 3D supplement.
Oh, yeah.
My very first NFL practice. I wanted to get a little edge that was legal. Went to GNC, give me the strongest stuff that you got. That's legal. They gave me this thing called Jack 3D. It said take 2 scoops. I took about 6 scoops. I felt like I felt like a man on fire as I exited the locker room, going out to that practice field. And literally, like the very second, I think it was like the second pursuit drill we ran, like the thing to open up practice. I mean, literally, just the entire thing just tore. And then, like, me being so uneducated in terms of the human anatomy, I was like, I might have just strained a little bit. Like, so I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to stretch it a little bit. I'll be fine to go. No. Like, I just sprinted again and tore a little more. And it was a nightmare, man. Hamstrings and calves and all the quad injuries. No bueno. No fun.
Just thinking about it just makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Because Media League softball, I have pulled a hamstring or 2.
It's going to ruin your whole month, man.
It ruins a whole month.
Ruins your whole month.
If you're working out, you can't do treadmill. You really ruins workouts for a month. It's just that's why I've stopped playing Media League softball, because of that.
Good for you.
Because I want to be able to run and do my other stuff.
You have to know when to walk away.
That's why I do bowling now.
You have to know when to walk away.
No hamstrings pulled in bowling.
Yet. Don't sell yourself short, Stuart. It can happen.
I mean, I'm a pretty athletic bowler, but I'm not going to do that as we put the bow on this fantastic show that we've had today.
And speaking about putting the bow on the show real quick, let's go back to the opening segment. We talked about Matt Rhule a little bit, what he's going to bring to the table now, the excitement, the intrigue now of the Carolina Panthers. You're talking about this in January when there shouldn't be a lot of excitement or intrigue because guess what? Your team didn't go to the playoffs. Let me ask you this, Stuart. You look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I know what you're going to say. The excitement obviously stems from Gardner Minshew.
It does.
All right, that's where you pretty much put all your chips in that basket.
RV and all.
Set aside from Gardner Minshew, what else are you bringing to the table for intrigue, excitement? Because the Jaguars, they don't have that coach coming through. They try to change the culture. They try to put on these press conferences. What you get is what you get right now. So from the excitement standpoint, where do you stand, and what are you taking with you going into the next season, going into OTAs, going into the spring of intriguing besides Gardner Minshew?
I mean, I'm excited about what Leonard Fournette can do in the final year of what would be that rookie contract, knowing and depending on what the team does with that contract. I mean, guys play differently when it's that last year of the deal and they know that their next contract largely is going to rely upon that.
Yeah.
So certainly Leonard Fournette is a big part of it. Heck, DJ Chark's continued development. Really excited to see what he does next year, and with that receiving core and what DJ Chark can do, just because of how great of a second year he had. It was, one of the revelations of this 2019 season was him in that coming out party. I mean, shoot, it happened in week 1 on the play that killed Foles, but that great touchdown catch, and he kept it going the rest of that year. So I'm excited about those things. I'm excited about some of the road trips that are coming up.
Yeah.
From a personal standpoint, Green Bay is pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I'm excited for that one.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And just knowing some of the places that this team will get to play, for me, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Because the way I look at, I mean, I'm going to be there regardless of what players are there. So I'm excited about the year to come, always.
Yeah, and
I love my life.
And I think, fair enough, man. I respect that.
What can I say?
I respect that kind of attitude. And I think also the draft, obviously. You
Yeah,
know,
it's-
the draft capital of having two guys in the
two
first
picks
round
is going to be interesting.
And listen,
yeah.
there's a lot of intrigue and excitement, but at the end of the day, you have to click the right buttons. You got to pull the right triggers, because this essentially, one of those picks is what you get for Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
And you're essentially replacing Jalen Ramsey. You want to have the most talent as possible. So something to kind of keep an intrigue for, obviously.
And hopefully the Rams are awful next year.
And hopefully
Give
the
us better than
Rams
20. Come on.
are awful next year. Absolutely. For Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, I'm Austin Lane. That's Justin Kuzart. That's Stuart Weber. Thanks for checking us out. Tomorrow, more 40-yard dash talk, more music talk maybe, and obviously a lot more Jaguars and football talk
We're
as
going to have
well.
a lot more fun this week.
A lot more fun this week. Is that even a sentence? Yeah, a lot more fun.
It's happening.
Check it out on ESPN 690. See you guys tomorrow.
When they look back through the annals of history, they're going to talk about three things: discovery of fire, invention of the submarine, and this road trip. That's wrong.
Are you over hearing about the new year? Then what do you say instead of joining the new bandwagon, we go used? And that starts by saving big on a used car at Arlington Toyota. At Arlington, you have over 400 pre-owned to choose from on the lot every day, and 60 vehicles are priced under $12,000. With every pre-owned purchase at Arlington, you join the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club. It's filled with savings, benefits, and rewards to take your Arlington purchase to the next level. Buying pre-owned at Arlington means big-time selection.